But speaking of which, you mentioned how close the line is amongst every single one of these teams, and I have to agree. I would have imagined that at least the Southeast Asian side of the world was going to be on top, but even so, we are seeing even Europe, even some of the teams that we don't expect, like China as well, looking to break through the surface.
I mean, if this is an indicator of what will happen in M6, then I'm excited, man. Because in this Swiss stage as well, we'll be starting with a best of one. This is the first time we'll be having a Swiss format, so the teams today in the wildcard will set the momentum. And for you guys at home, fill your game with Hello Panda crunchy biscuits filled with creamy chocolate, the ultimate snack to keep you energized, level up your day, and visit Hello Panda's website for more. We're gonna be eating this, I don't know, I feel like we should save our energy up to game number 2, game number 3.
That's a good idea.
Today is only one match. It's only a best of 5. We'll see how far that both teams can go. And looking at both teams, I gotta say, Ulhanar, I feel like, in terms of emotions, they're very much emotional here. But before that, we also got to remind you guys, from the 18th of November all the way to the 29th of December, participate in the M6 Lucky Gift. Join the draw for a chance to win Claw's new Epic Skin, Challengers, Flare, and Beatrix's new M4 Epic Painted Skin, Light Seeker. Don't miss this rare opportunity to get Beatrix M4 exclusive and M4 Prime skins returning for a limited time. But yeah, both teams, I gotta tell you, Gideon, Incilio, they had a tough time in their groups, but I feel like Ulhanar, they were really pushed to the limits.
They really were, and I feel like after yesterday's series, it feels like they should be on top of the world, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's the toughest hurdle that they've faced thus far, and based off of how Incilio has been playing, it feels like they should have a upper hand coming into this best of 5.
My only worry is that Incilio, they play a very slow and controlled. I tried to put two and two together. Slow and controlled kind of way. However, we saw how Ulhanar, they have a various amount of play. Even having that Farsa in mid, where I still remember the days where Rosa brought it in M4, going up against Hayabusas, and the Farsa comes up on top. So we can definitely see that Ulhanar, if they really want to, they can pick up the pace. So Incilio, can they keep up? But for now, we got to recap the standings and see all the teams that were here in the wild card.
In case you guys missed it, Group B, Incilio sits right on top with a game record of 5 wins and 3 losses, beating out RRQ Akira, Legion Esports, and as well as the Mongols. However, when we jump over to Group A, 2 big competitors, Ulfendar and Diangfeng Yaoguai, really pushing it to the limit with 6-1 scoreline for Ulfendar and Diangfeng Yaoguai at 5-3. Unfortunately for Geeking as well as Nightmare Esports, this group was brutal.
Yeah, but again, looking at the score, it actually looks more closer. Ulhanar, in their entire group, they only lose once. If we look at Incilio, they lost 3 times. 2 times against RRQ Kira and 1 time against Legion Esports, if I remember correctly. And this does show that Incilio, they do have avenues that Ulhanar could probably exploit. Because between both teams, Ulfendar is the more experienced one, and Incilio is the new kid in the block. But now, again, just to show you guys, to make it official, this is today's schedule. It's just one match. It's a best of 5. The final ticket, the decider match, Ulfendar against Incilio.
Now, it's a good thing that it's a best of 5, because in a best of 3, after watching yesterday's performance, I feel like I couldn't get enough. I needed a little bit more, and also for these teams, a little bit more time to actually adapt, which is why I want to talk to you about the meta so far, as it's been evolving here at the wildcards. I don't know if it's purely a wildcard thing, or whether it's the most effective tactical advantage to gain in the drafting phase. So far, blue side has been looking a little underwhelming. Red side has been looking better. But even so, you mentioned the Farsa as well. Is this the natural order of things?
I really feel like why the second pick looks much stronger now is because before this, we have one clear strong hero, Suyo, Alpha, and the likes, Jushin. But now, there's multiple ways to handle those first picks. I feel like with the final adjustment, with the change of HP, with the change of some items, including the Malefic Gun, Suyo got nerfed a little bit. This has made a lot more heroes more competitive all around. So now having 2 extra heroes first, and more importantly, that final pick, gives the second pick a big advantage.
Dude, this makes me excited for the next upcoming patch. Hopefully it doesn't come in the middle of
I don't think so.
MS6
I don't think so.
I think we're sticking with this patch for a good amount of time here, because right now, at least with the Malefic gun changes, it allows a lot more gold laners to be more viable. Bruno coming back into the mix, Beatrix as well, both of which are doing very, very well so far. But to me, at least, EXP feels a little limited.
Yeah, right now, we got to talk about the topic here, the final ticket. One match, one dream. Familiar contender, Ulhanar, even though they came here with a different name, but the faces on the roster are faces that we've seen for years, going up against the new challenger, Incilio. New kids on the block, but let me just say, they have impressed us so far.
I mean, their game style is rather interesting, right? Especially in a meta where we are expecting teams to pour gasoline on the smallest of fires to either douse them out or to set them ablaze. Incilio plays a slower style of game, really punishing their opponent's mistakes.
Honestly, there's a lot of members of Incilio that I really want to talk about. Namely, like Maniac, the way that he plays. He used to be a gold laner, but he doesn't play like it.
No.
The moment he sees an opportunity to go in, he goes in. He sets up for the team. Lovely is there to back him up. Don is there to make sure that he doesn't take too much damage without gaining nothing. And Ulhanar, their experience, they've played this game for years now. They have mastery of a lot of heroes, which gave them advantage because you were talking about the meta, Gideon.
Yep.
One of the biggest changes was attack speed marksman looked amazing for the previous patch. Now it's all about burst. Now we see Bruno. Now we're seeing Harv is still there-ish. Nathan is there-ish. Colleen we haven't seen so far, but we know the teams have been practicing on that hero. Even changing that changes a lot. But for now, before we go even further, we prepared a special video before we start the final match of today.
I think game is changing and players are getting better and better from like every team that has passed, so they got a lot of experience.
Then everybody's first time here in Asia.
Finally, the game is broken open!
They're really unbelievable. And we come here earlier than the other representative, November 8, almost 2 weeks, and then they transform like that. Unbelievable, you see?
We are people after all, we are not robots, right? It's mostly mental, it's not about the gameplay. I have a long story with Team Incilio, because I coached them on MCC Season 3 LAN final, and I've taught them some of the basic stuff of Mobile Legends. For now to see if they have learned something or not.
May the best team win.
Honestly, there's a lot to unpack in that one video. We heard from both coaches, Coach Osprey as well as Coach G. Incilio, first time in Asia, first time here in the world stage, performing very, very well. And listening to what Coach Osprey said as well, they're not robots.
Yep.
They have feelings. And we saw TNZ breaking down in the game yesterday. Like, this is very emotional for both teams.
It's high pressure, and I can definitely understand why. The game is pushing you even further than before, and honestly, some compositions don't actually work well towards the later stages of the game. So you can understand that it's either a do or die. It's not a, oh, we can let this go now. We can sacrifice it even more.
It's crazy to think this is just the wild card.
Yeah.
This is just the wild card. We've seen multiple heroes, multiple, I would say, synergies from the teams, and not even emotions, man. Like, this M6 technically hasn't started yet. It's just the wild card. And I would say we already got our money's worth.
I feel, oh yeah, I think we got a little bit more than that.
Oh,
actually.
yeah, more than that, actually, yeah.
With what's been happening in Wildcards, it's hard not to be excited, not only for the main event in M6, but also for the MPLs that are going to be happening all across the world. I think there's going to be a much bigger spotlight when that happens.
We were able to talk to Apex 47, and we have a quote from him. So now you're looking on the screen on the M6 wildcard from Apex 47. The competition in MTC was already challenging for us, and seeing such strong opponents in the wildcard further shook our confidence. We weren't sure if we could win the match, which made us feel even more emotional in the end. And this is something crazy. The pressure is so high, even the players will not know what the outcome is going to be. We've seen teams being very confident, like, yeah, we knew we were going to win in the first place, but now everyone's just like, I don't know, man. People, like, everyone from every region stepped up way faster than we could anticipate.
I mean, there has been an acceleration in terms of competitiveness across the regions, but this is coming from an M representative. He's been here for a while.
They're the faces of Turkey.
They're the faces of Turkey. And I mean, yes, their juniors in S2G used to be under them, but now overtaking them. It really is a wake-up call for all the veterans out there. You really got to be on top of your game before you're overtaken.
Something that I gotta say, looking at how they've been performing, I'm very much excited to see how S2G can perform. But now we gotta talk about the players that will be on stage for today. Ulhanar, we got Sunshine, Apex 47, Rosa, TNZ, and Alien. And I gotta say, everyone from the roster. Again, we got to look at Rosa but TNZ as well. We see how emotional he is in the game. I want to see him bringing 200% here today.
I don't know whether or not 200% is going to be enough, especially against their opponents, but I'm looking towards Sunshine's side, right? We know that they can play the earlier stages of the game, but when it drags out a little too long, the flexibility and the calls, you need to depend on your late game carry, and Sunshine is supposed to be that guy.
And Apex 47 is the rock. They say when he shouts, they all get motivated. But now we gotta look at Encilio, the new challengers here. We got Don't, Lovely, Reaper, Justinian, as well as Maniac. If we talk about Rosa, we gotta talk about Reaper.
Yep.
Reaper has been making those plays, making the play of the day, the Kadea play of the day. No matter what hero he uses, either the Aurora, the Valentina, heck, the Valentina looks like a Luyi. This guy is amazing.
Really, really nasty stuff. We've seen him steal Lords and honestly make really crucial plays for his team to let them bounce back in a game that almost seems unwinnable. For me, my highlight, it's going to be Justinian. After yesterday, what we've saw and his micro mechanics, I think he's got what it takes to be part of some of the best junglers, but right now, it's about the play style of the team. It's too slow, and I think that his mechanics are wasted in these small opportunities.
You don't see a lot of highlights, but again, Maniac, man, you gotta look at Maniac, the way that he sets up, the way that he's a front line for the team. I gotta say, he still hasn't shown the Arlet yet. The Arlet is one of his signatures. But that Thamos, man,
Yeah.
it's so tanky. I'm like, when are you going down?
His timings on Vengeance as well as popping the Thamos all right at the perfect second, especially when he's in the middle of the fight. Really, he knows how to obtain attention. It's like he has a taunt without having an inbuilt kit taunt.
Well, now going up against Ulhanar is going to be difficult for him. If he can actually execute it against them, then I gotta say he has probably made his mark and put a target on his back going to the Swiss stage. It's between these two teams, and this is one of those situations you could have wished more teams for the wildcard can go to the Swiss stage, man.
It's true.
I feel like it's not just us, but after a few days spending time with the teams, it's like, oh, you want all of them to be here, you know?
Hey, it's sounding like a growing attachment to these teams here. It's tough to see one of these teams not make it into the main event itself. And personally for me, I'm looking as well Maniac as well as Alien. Because right now, I think the draft is so heavily dependent on these two particular EXP laners. I think getting Alien that show is really, really nice. But at times, even when you put him on something like an Edith, he can make things work, but not as effectively when you don't have the playmaking capabilities.
I agree when you say the EXP is not looking all that great, because right now it's essentially two roams, right?
Yep.
It's just that one of your roamers are actually grabbing minions. But now, we're going into the drafting phase in the decider match. Ulhanar going up against Encilio. Best of 5. This will be the decider. Who goes to the M6 main stage? Encilio will be first pick. Ulhanar will be second. Fanny as well as Eve has been banned out by Encilio. Ulhanar banning out that Hilda as well as the Jushin.
It's going to be permabanned here. Hilda is probably never going to see the light of day. Same goes for Jushin. Yves along those lines, the same as Fanny, but there's also one more. The chip has been either a give or a take. I know that Encilio doesn't heavily prioritize it as much, but we've seen Ulfandar first phase usually gets rid of it at the end.
It's crazy, Gideon, but in a few hours, just a few hours, these teams can pick something new.
Is to protect lives.
I feel like Encilio had more time.
Okay.
Between them and Ulfanar, they had more time. So, not saying they were hiding strats, but maybe in a few hours after their game, up until today, maybe they picked up on the chip. Maybe they picked up on a different hero that could surprise us today. Because again, usually in the best of 5, the first game is the one that you can really pull off that cheese.
Okay, if I were to put my money on a hero that could maybe shake things up based on what we've seen in the past couple of days, I would say maybe a Granger.
I would agree.
Because if we're expecting a Farsa, what outranges that Farsa?
Oh yeah, the Granger.
Exactly. A way to kind of set up for your team. It has inbuilt slow when it connects, but it's all depending on how the teams move around the map. High Loss band and as well as the Matilda band. Interesting. Chip, wide out in the open.
I was about to say Gatot Kacha as well. Just with one pick, you're already challenging Rosa. I gotta Gatot Kacha. Do you dare to pick up the Farsa? Just with that one pick, you basically deny that pick. So now, Ulfanar is more looking at the likes of the Valentina, the Aurora, the Vexana. Nothing like a Farsa that the Gatot Kacha can disrupt.
I feel like the Valentina makes a lot of sense, but even more so, just get it out of the hands of Apex 47. We've seen him hard carry games on a Rome Gatot, doing so much more in that game itself that I think anybody can understand that taking it out of his hands is just more than enough. At this point, do they want to start threatening the jungle side? I feel like at this point, nothing is really set in stone. It's pretty flexible for Incilio, but instead, they're going to go with the initial flex pick and as well as lock in an early Harith.
I feel like this Harith is more of a comfort because they're really looking at Bruno and Harith. Both these heroes control the gold lane so much, they ask for respect. They ask for the rotation from the opposing side to come to the lane. If not, the opposing gold laner is going to get bullied. And if I find it interesting, as we're looking at the wild cards, Suyo and Alpha, they're good picks, but they're not super prio at this point because the Nolan Gideon, that Nolan has been a problem. And now the Suyo has been picked as well as the Bruno. We talk about Bruno, we talk about Harith, lane oppressors, and now the Louis picked up. But before that, we got a fun fact here. Harith boasts an impressive 89% win rate. 8 games, 8 wins in 9 games.
That is a very good stat to follow. Honestly, I thought that maybe Bruno was a little bit closer in that particular section, but probably the frequency of Bruno being played does affect its overall win rate. Now, looking at the first 3 picks coming in from both sides, it's understandable that Osprey is like, okay, we got to get rid of the Vexana. Just chuck it out there.
Something that's very much interesting. This hero is not in the meta, which kind of makes Louis a little bit stronger, where before it is, people pick up the Novaria for that vision to see where the Louis is coming from. Banning on the Vexana, I don't see a Novaria coming up, but now we got to think about what Ulfanar really wants. Because you only have 2 bans here for Incilio. They're banning out the Tigreal. They're not aiming for the jungler because there's so many that's still open. Even the Joy. We haven't talked about the Joy, but the Joy is impressively strong.
Very, very good. I mean, people have mixed opinions about Joy because is it really an early game hero, but it definitely hits hard late, so maybe you punish it in the early, but at the same time, it's got enough base damage to stop it. So I think that it's undecided and requires a little bit more testing, and especially with a high-stakes match, I don't think they're going to touch it just yet.
Yeah. So right now, I feel like, based on the game so far in the wild card, Ulfanar might really want that Nolan. So I really want to see if Incilio respects that or ban out the Alpha or just like, we can't predict it. We're not going to let either of those go. And the Tigreal, by the way, indicates that they probably think that this Cho is going to the hands of Aliens.
I think it's a good read because most of the time we do see Alien being the main guy who picks up the Cho. Throughout the past couple of years, 90% of the time actually. Incilio, on the other hand, after getting rid of the Tigreal, you think they're going to go for another support ban? I mean, they've already pinched it so hard at this point. And Matilda's already banned on the Ulfandar side.
You are fencing a cluster.
Ooh. Phobius is still open, to be fair.
That's true, that's true. Ulfanar right now, they already have the gold laner as well as the mid. I feel like with the bans, you're not fooling anyone where this show is going, so it won't be that punishing to pick up your jungler right now, but if they want to keep this up, then maybe pick up the Roamer /EXP here. It looks like they're showing in Hayabusa one of the heroes that we haven't talked about, but honestly, Hayabusa, in terms of games so far, whether it ranked games or professional play, has been very, very impressive, especially in the games that Hilda is not present.
Yeah, I mean, especially with no early game disruption, it makes sense that you want to be able to
Khalid.
snipe the back line. They could go for the Khalid, but it felt like Incilio was setting up for the Phobius in the first place, right? They've already locked in the Gato, so they only can decide. Oh, Arlet as well as Valentina.
Arlet getting picked up here as well as the Valentina. I gotta say, a lot of mid-range damage as well as crowd control here from Incilio. Looking at their draft, they want to fight. They have the capability to fight. It's quite even when it comes to the damage as well as crowd control. And right now, in terms of catching the back line, Ulhanar, they have a lot of options here. They got the Cho, they got the Lui, they got the Hayabusa. I want to see if Incilio, they want to move forward or be careful and actually cover all the flanks here, because they have a very aggressive lineup, but at the same time, they got to play a little bit defensive when it comes to the draft that Ulvanar is showing.
I think that Ulvanar needs to show something that can actually force it out of them. I'm thinking Phobius. The Cho could still go into that section, but in terms of support as well, it's a little tough unless you're talking about a Grok that can open up a map. But yes, they go finally for the Phobius at the very end here. I'm expecting Alien to get deep into enemy lines to force out maybe the final slash, maybe get Valentina to commit a couple of dashes before we see the all-in.
Ulvanar, they hide it until the very last pick, showing that this show is going to the roam. But looking at the mid duo, I'm already saying I feel like it's going to be a lot of trading. I'm not so sure if it will actually trade into a kill. I feel like it's just going to slow each other down.
I mean, as much as I want to believe let's slow each other down, look at the compositions, right? Both looking to team fight, but Ulfanar wants the skirmish for sure.
And right now, we're about to jump into the first game. Incilio going up against Ulhanar, the decider match. The winner goes to the Swiss stage. Winner fights against BTK. But before all that happens, they gotta work it out. They gotta win this one as we jump into the Land of Dawn for game number 1.
Good luck to both of our teams here. This is going to be a best of 5 to remember here at the finals of the Wildcards. A Swiss stage slot open for one of them. Incilio on the blue side up against Ulfhundar on the red. Justinian going to be starting on his purple buff with TNZ on his orange. Same side of the map, probably heading towards the gold.
Yeah, so far, every rotation, not a lot of variety here. Everyone starts on that EXP and then moving towards that goal. We heard from Zia from BTK that here it looks like a lot of people are fighting for that gold crab, and really it's just about getting that first item, especially on your jungler. Whether it be a War Axe, whether it be a Hunter Strike, it's very much impactful. For you guys as well, in terms of impact, from the 18th of November to the 29th of December, make sure you guys complete all active tasks to reach level 75. A lot of goodies are for you guys at home. Claws Battle Emote, M6 Glory, Avatar Border, Baxia's Battle Emote, Special Skin, Baxia Dauntless Shield for free, and much, much more.
Early engagement here. Kenzie is going to hit 4. We're expecting first blood to happen, but Apex 47 has to play a strong game. Good Shunpo to minimize the damage, but Tenzi not using the Oki Shadow kill.
This is what I was looking at when I'm looking at the mid duo. They have a lot of poke. They have a lot of way to deal the damage, but not really a way to execute, not a way to finish it up. So I feel like both teams, they're just going to be slowing each other down, poking damage here and there.
Do you think there's an opportunity for TNZ to go for the Sky Piercer this time? I know that's not his favorite item to go for, and I know that he generally likes to play a little bit more for the damage in the later stages of the game rather than that execute threshold.
Something tells me after what happened yesterday, TNZ was very emotional. I feel like for the first game, he wants to get momentum. He wants to get his confidence. So I feel like he's going for a more standard build, and if he feels more confident as the series goes on, then he'll build Sky Piercer.
Hold on, Apex 47 already chunking out Justinian to with just 10% of his HP. This should be all the final fight, hitting 2 with a flicker, and now Alien gets into the middle of the fight. Rosa is able to secure the turtle in time. His first blood achieved. Tenzi goes down with the help of the Valentina. Perfect Purify from Reaper to deny Alien the chase.
Well, that in a way answers your question. I kind of feel like Sky Piercer, maybe not for this game. Wait a little bit for him to get more confident, but it's a good thing that Rosa was able to secure that turtle. But for me personally, 1 kill for 1 turtle, I would call that an even trade. I wouldn't say either or has won that one.
Yeah, so far we haven't seen much of momentum really being generated. It's still a 50-50 at this point of time. I'm trying to see whether the side lanes are generating any kind of effects. If not, some show of dominance. But the fact that we see that Maniac was able to actually keep up with Alien in that fight, I think that the EXP is more evenly matched than I thought.
Yeah, and looking at the lane bullies, both Harv as well as Bruno, they're playing very safe. If you're looking at the mini-map, they're playing around the bushes a little bit more. They're really not showing their face because they basically want to ask who wants to make the first move.
It kind of feels like the EXP and gold rotations
Exactly.
have kind of inversed, right? Now they're going to be a lot more chill in the gold lane when it used to be highly just push it out, rotate towards mid, get that second wave, and then come back.
Right now, honestly, between both teams, I feel like Incilio does have the better opportunity to set something up because even though Alien will rotate faster compared to Maniac, once Maniac has that flicker, he can initiate something. Compared to the Phobias of Alien, he can initiate, but in a way, he will put himself in so much danger that it might not look good.
Well, to be fair, Incilio does have the better quote-unquote counter-engage, right? I think that Ulfandar, if they want to generate momentum, their execution must be clean, but we haven't seen a sudden rotation, right? The diversion hasn't been deployed yet by Rosa.
Yeah, I feel like this is more about waiting for those items because they want to make sure that if they go for something, they actually have enough damage. The Reaper took a lot of damage.
Okay. Nice.
Nicely done by Apex. 47, making sure that he's not wasting any time. Also getting the Purify out of Reaper as well.
Yep, and now the turtle is looking very good for Ulhanar. Lovely, taking quite a bit of damage.
So he's trying his best here. Maniac can technically push Apex 47 back, but he's not the priority target. It looks like they want to focus on TNZ for now. Give up this neutral objective. Incilio will not be able to control this space.
Yeah, but right now it's a very big advantage for Ulhanar because they've got 2 turtles. They were able to get first blood, and now it's on Incilio if they want to fight back.
Justinian is going to get hit first, but Alien is always part of these neutral fights. Rosa considering options to send his team and deploy them, but they can't read where exactly Incilio is going to be.
I feel like now that the Enchanted Talisman has been built by Rosa, it feels battle ready. Now if you want to go for a fight, he can really set up for his yin-yang reaction to make sure that he can actually lock people in.
Opening up the map here, already using his quad shadows, and Lovely is going to expose all 3 members coming in for Ultimate. Final Slash coming through from Alien's side. GOA is going to be deployed, but no, it gets canceled just in time. Alien is able to flicker out of there, sending another one. Shunpo, oh, it still clips him at the very end. Apex 47 might just be going down, and the yin-yang reaction comes out too late.
Unfortunately, we can see the damage is not there yet. TNT just got the Hunter Strike, and now he wants to go on Reaper, but the Shadow did not connect onto him. So now we can see Incilio does do a little bit more damage, either just better targeting or better placement. Either ways, right now, I feel like it's still 50-50 for both teams. Neither Gideon is really taking the risk here. Both teams, it looks like they want to fight for Lord. It's like a gentleman's agreement. Let's get our items and see who has the better mid game.
It's an arms race, right? Build up as many items as possible. Ooh, Apex 47 trying to open up the map here with the help of Alien. Sunshine is nearby. I don't know if he wants to be part of this. Final Slash comes up to Alien's side. He's going to be going down so fast, and Don't is able to secure the kill. That's actually huge for Incilio.
Huge, and a mistake coming in from Alien. He wanted to open the map. He wanted to get vision. Apex 47 could do it. He has a lot of dashes. The Phobias, however, doesn't have a lot. Now 1v1.
Oh, the OP shadow kill comes on through, and TNT plays it perfect, making sure that he's not utilizing that last shadow. GOA is already be coming out, kicked underneath the turret. Final Slash is able to bail him out, and Apex 47 gets to live.
And 2 separate fights, both top side of the map and the bottom side of the map, both have been won by Ulhanar, and now Incilio. They're looking like they want to have more aggression here, looking at Don't, doing quite a lot of damage onto Sunshine.
Oh, they spot him out! Maniac is going to get locked down here. Nothing he can do. Can't even throw out the Final Slash in time.
Everything is won by Ulhanar here. They got a kill, they got a turtle, and now they got to take some objectives here. They got to take structures down to have more control of the jungle. This is where you try to slow down Justinian, Reaper, as well as Lovely.
Okay, Do you think that invading the jungle is more important than the structural damage?
Structure better.
Structures are better?
Especially the mid.
Especially the mid, because here we go. The first diversion coming up for the side. But in Cilio, Gioe is going to be coming out towards Little Wanderer's side, and Alien is deep in the mix. Don't is trying to get on out of there. Revitalize already used, and Alien goes down once again as the mid-tier 1 collapses.
Hey, I would say that's worth it, man. But now...
It's going to be knocked up. Sunshine with no Purify is in a lot of trouble. The way the Dragon goes straight onto Arlon. Sunshine ends up trading out regardless as Don't hits his second item power spike.
That was good reaction coming in from Incilio, making sure that Ulunar don't get things for free. They still have 1.3k goal lead ahead, but in this state of the game, it's still manageable. The fact that Incilio is showing that they can fight back is good.
Apex 47 going to get taunted up here as another tier 1 on the top side going to fall into the hands of Incilio. That Phantom Tax is going to be really important here for Incilio if they want to still maintain some form of aggression against Ulfendar when the Lord ends up coming around.
I looked at the items, and so far, everyone is even Stevens, especially TNZ as well as Justinian. Even though Justinian is 2-1 and 2, TNZ is 1-1 and 1, and both having 2 items working on the third one. So far, looking at the power scale here, both are looking very, very good, especially if we look at Incilio having more than enough damage to take down Alien, to take down Apex 47, but Alien's got to calm down a little bit, but because if he overextends too much, you're going to get to the point of the game where Alien is very, very much needed for those neutral objectives like the Lord. If he keeps on having this kind of habit, it might be more difficult for Ulunar to establish proper map control.
Well, I mean, that kind of depends, right? I feel like him going and slowing down his opponents when they are trading structures is a very good idea if he survives. He is going to eventually build up to a Thunderbelt anyway, so he wants to get involved.
Either ways right now, the Lord has spawned here. Sunshine Tree 1-0. Rosa 0-0 and 3, now having the glowing one as well. So when the healing comes in from Lovely, he can actually handle it a little bit more compared to before.
Let's not forget about Justinian as well as Maniac. Both have inbuilt ways of sustainability. And you can see that the Cold War now continues. It's a battle of information, right? Once the full formation has been shown, I'm expecting Lovely to look for an engagement.
Oh, look at Reaper. Using the diversion. Rosa doesn't see it.
Ooh, maybe a little too late, unfortunately. Don't tries to go for the empowered auto, just not enough to reach. And no setup as well, but they do have full control over the Lord pit.
Oh, Rosa is looking for a diversion play here, but maybe they're gonna forget about it as the Lord is low.
Oh, they try. Gioe does connect, but it's going to be Justinian who secures the Lord. Rosa finds the trade as Justinian takes down Apex 47. Alien needs to chase with Infernal Pursuit right on top of Reaper. He can do this no problem, and he's going to bring Sunshine to his side. They have split the Incilio battle line in half as finally Reaper goes down.
Good news, bad news. Incilio got the Lord. Bad news, they almost got wiped out. Even Justinian was sold away by the Louis, by the mid laner, man.
It's tough. It's tough. I mean, Justinian's not building any MR. That yin-yang reaction is lethal to him.
Oh, yeah, and right now, Ulunar, they deal with the Lord absolutely no problem. 9 kills to 6. Ulfendar is controlling the map very, very well, and they're not overextending. They're making sure they're handling their waves, trying to make sure that they crash all together.
It feels like these 5v5s are split into 2 separate fights. It's going to be the engagers looking for each other's backlines, and the question is who is able to regroup first before they go for the full wipeout.
Looking at the goal difference, it's really the side lanes, both gold lane as well as EXP. A lot more goal difference there when you're looking at Ulfendar compared to all the other roles. This does show some form of dominance from the side lane, which now translates, oh, Maniac looks like he's not going to get kicked, but...
Oh, the Final Slash does connect, but Apex 47 still walks out. The Zaman Force is going to be a very big deterrent. He is 5-1 and 2. Gioe is going to connect onto Rosa's side, but no follow-up from Incilio.
Yep. However, Sunshine did use that Purify. TNZ is waiting on the flanks here. Don't know if he really wants to be there. Right now, looking at players head-to-head for the gold laner, everything so far is looking good for Sunshine, especially the average KDA being 1 entire point up.
Wait, did they just miss it? Yeah, the TP does come through initially, and it's going to be Justinian who's getting out of there. Apex 47 now is going to have to pay for his sins. Incilio, their group up is working out against Ulfendar.
I feel like that plan was a little bit half-cooked. they understood plan A. Like, how do you set up? Okay, we roughly understand, but what's the follow-up? What's going to happen after we send him there? Especially because in Celio, I'm pretty sure they saw it coming.
Probably walk by the bush here. Kenzie and the rest of the team is going to be clearing up that mid-tier 1, making sure that that structure holds strong to make sure that their entire jungle, and especially that purple buff, is going to be kept safe.
Despite having 3,000 gold lead, Incilio is actually holding their own very, very well. Looking at items here, looking at Dawn, especially Bruno, having the Hoskalaw Berserker Fury as well as the Malefic Gun makes it so that he can join the fight and he's able to make sure that he can deal damage safely.
Apex 47 has been opening up the map effectively, and finally they get the kick towards Maniac's side. GOA to try and bail him out of there as Apex 47, just a sliver of health. Genzi comes in. Wow, Sunshine able to pop Reaper, no issues whatsoever. And Alien continues with the Infernal Pursuit. They finally disengage, but you can clearly see if it's a clean engagement and a good pickoff, Ulfindar will find at least one.
We gotta see how Harif has been winning 8 out of 9 games. That burst damage is absolutely lethal. At this point, TNZ just got to worry about hitting those retributions because when it comes to the damage, Sunshine's got it.
And he's stepping up big time, even dropping the Salmon Force early to zone them out. The final flash connecting on nobody. This free Lord falls into the hands of Ulfindar.
In Cielo, they got to think about how to engage here because Maniac so far has had beautiful final slashes, but again, doesn't result in anything so far.
He's mad, stolen away the purple buff as well after taking the Lord to rub salt into the wound. A 4.9k so far for Ulfindar, but what does Incilio need to turn this around? Because I feel like they're already struggling to commit to just Alien, because once that final slash is done, they don't really have much disengage other than the GOA.
If we're looking at creativity here, if somehow Reaper is able to take away the diversion, get an angle onto Sunshine, that could be an avenue that they could explore. However, I feel like it's easier said than done. The more realistic one is try to get Sunshine by someone baiting him out.
I mean, they need to get that Purify, that pesky Purify out of him first, right? If not, a lot of the counter engage is just ineffective because it's heavily around CC and not damage.
Lovely or Maniac, someone's got to make the call. Someone needs to be that sacrifice. Put your body on the line to expose Ulfindar, and then everyone has to fight back. The problem is they don't have a lot of control here.
But now the taunts coming out from Lovely. They know that it's down. This is going to be a free inhibitor. And the Lord still with 60% of its health. They're looking for all three as they slow. Well, GOA going to be coming out from Lovely. Try and slow this down. Tauntaun out of there as TNT looks for Justinian at the same time. Final Slash connects off towards 2. Sunshine does not have his Purify anymore. Checkpoint mark 1. And now they just need, what? They have 80 seconds to find a fight against Sunshine.
For Ulfindar, right now, I got to say, their best defense is their offense. Every single time we see Incilio try to move forward, the damage coming in from the Harif basically tells them, no, you can't.
Much.
It's too much. Even Lovely, every single time you see the way that he engages, he jumps in with the Avatar of the Guardian and then immediately dashes back. He doesn't dash forward. He doesn't look for a target. And now TNT goes in just to get that cheeky mid-inhibitor, and it goes back.
Oh, love it. Love it. BMI's quad shadows, it can all be utilized. A good call for Ulfindar. Now, with 2 missing inhibitors, Incilio is going to have a lot of trouble because the Lord is spawning on the bottom side of the map, so the long lanes are exposed.
Soon, it's going to be all or nothing. Wait for Revitalize. Wait for the flicker on Maniac. Lovely, go in. Whatever happens, happens. Maniac, try to get a good angle, control the Harry, and then everyone just jumps in. Because it is coming to that point. You only have 1 inhibitor left. The Lord is coming up soon. Find an opportunity. Because if you don't, you already got to think about game number 2.
Yeah, I mean, the high ground defense isn't the best as well. The final slash does come out, but don't worry. It has a
Very
short
short
cooldown. 10 seconds from this point onwards for the next Lord to spawn. And I mean, these pushing waves here. Ulfindar just showing how much that the macro is important just to cause more and more problems for Incilio.
And one of the problems is the one that really can handle the side lanes is just Justinian.
So far, Alien going to be chunked down to 50% of his HP here. Rosa's got to be really careful as Genzi is trying to bait out motions coming in from the side of Incilio's side. They know that even if they rush the Lord, it's just not worth their time. They got to be worried about their base.
Oh yeah, having the mid lane as well as top inhibitor being down, super minions will spawn. It's unfortunate. Mid lane, you can handle that. But having the top lane inhibitor going down, and the Lord being at the bottom side of the map, your long lane is going to be very difficult for you to handle, especially TNZ showing his face as well, reminding them the moment you guys look too deep into the Lord, your base is going to be gone.
This is so interesting because Ovendar had an opportunity to try and bait something out here, but Alien going to try his best, trying to maintain control of that bottom side as we see TNZ already forcing out Justinian. Winter Crown is straight into the fast item swap of the Immortality. He's not going to have any utility items for this upcoming fight.
Oh yeah, this is not going to feel good. And now Justinian having that Rolls gold meter to be able to deal with TNZ. Because right now TNZ doesn't have to have a good KDA. He just, oh, hold on.
Oh, Rosa losing 75% of his HP as Tianzi wants a little bit more. Finds Justinian. Can they go? The Retribution has already been thrown out. Tianzi is going to keep on rushing them down as on the opposite side, Lovely is going to lose his immortality as Tianzi takes down Reaper, no problem. GOA not even going to come out as the TP comes through. They are looking to try and stop Justinian from recalling it. Rosa checking bush by bush as the base is wide open and Ulfendar tries to end this game with their honestly, a 5-man advantage here as Lovely and Reaper are currently down.
In Celio, they had split decisions there. We can definitely see they're sending Squad A and Squad B. Two of you guys try to get a flank, get the kill. The others try to control Ulfendar. And it looks like whatever forces that they send was not enough. And now Ulfendar with 6,000 gold lead here. Maniac.
Oh no!
Tianzi.
Oh my goodness! He's able to get the Oki Shadow kill off in time, and they also secure the Lord as they take out Justinian. Man, that was too close for comfort there.
I mean, good try, good try. Justinian could have gotten the Lord, could have maybe even gotten some kills, and then that could have turned things around. But now, looking at Encilio, you got to worry about this. Their wave clear is not the best. And Ulfendar, they have shown that they can initiate the fights a little bit better, especially with that show.
Haven't you noticed that both of these teams, a lot of it is just feinting their opponent, right? Look on this side, we're trying to take down your front line, but instantly attacking your back line. I mean, we've seen it so many times, but it happens so often in Wildcard compared to MPLs where we've seen them kind of brute force their way through.
Okay, looks like an instant replay will happen, but we gotta look at the base here because the base, the Lord's coming in, but no. Looking at the base.
Thank Zipper as they're already in. Gio is going to come through. Revitalize not going to be enough as the damage is more than what he can take. And Sunshine is just cutting through the front line, jumping in the back line with the help of the Sovereign Force. They go straight for the base, but they're running out of minions to work with. Apex 47 still pummeling the Crystal as Ulfendar take game 1.
And taking it with confidence. They are forcing the fight. They are able to out-damage Encilio. Encilio saw what happened in game number 1, and now it's on them to respond. Are they gonna let Ulfendar to essentially get match point, or will they equalize it?
I mean, they have to try and equalize it here. I think that Encilio definitely understand that their composition didn't have that high ground defense that they were hoping for. It's definitely looking towards mid-game to power spike against them, but it's a little too tough, right? I mean, we saw what happened, especially once those structures started to fall. That's when you expect to see Ulfendar speed up the game.
In game number 1, we can see Ulfendar, they have the willingness to pick up the Harif very, very early, understanding that it could probably fight against the Bruno, but we see that basically it's a dead lane. Nothing really happens there, it's just farming, no form of aggression. So in a way, they've already showed a little bit of their hand. They want to win at least the gold lane to ensure that the game doesn't go out of control.
But also, I'm noticing that at least for Ulfendar, the way that they're managing specifically the Lord, they're looking for these fights more often than taking the advantage of that extra, the empowered minions, the Lord itself, to get structural damage against their opponents. They're looking for something that's a little bit more permanent as the game goes on.
It's very interesting that we saw Reaper using the Valentina to try to use the diversion against Ulfendar, but it doesn't really work out. I kind of feel like going up against Louis, if you have a little bit more range, it makes it much more easier for you to have that poke damage, because in terms of control, I gotta say, having damage from long range, either coming from your marksman or your mid laner, having both would really help you get control of the map, because your tanks, your EXP laners, they can open up the map for sure, but if the damage doesn't get to the target, it kind of doesn't matter.
And I think, you know, the worst part about it is you never really want to open up a bush, but standing side by side to your tank, because that could go terribly wrong with you really, really quick. But let's look at the post-game item build here real quick. Walk me through this, LaFell, because again, I'm noticing specifically from Sunshine, he loves doing this. Sells his boots eventually, and then goes straight into the Lightning Truncheon to have that extra bit of burst.
I mean, it's not just burst, but also the splash damage as well. I feel like the splash damage really helps out Ulhanar to make sure that Rosa feels like Rosa is doing much more damage, because sometimes you just need that a little bit more. And the thing is, even if you get a kill, it's fine. As long as you're pushing your opponents away from the neutral objectives, it's all good. Because look at how Sunshine plays very, very aggressively. The moment he sees someone, either he's going for a turret, either he's going for a lord, he opens up the Zaman Force, immediately throwing out all the damage. Basically, he's playing this gold lane like an EXP.
It's a good way of looking at it, actually. But notice that Alien not even bothering to go for the Thunderbelt, right? It feels like he wants to rotate out of the map rather than just interact with the Arlet most of the time, building full tank. Despite that, he's still doing relevant damage.
I feel like he understands his job in this game. It's not really to apply pressure when it comes to the damage or even the slow. It's just to be a nuisance. I just want to be in between all of you so that you don't pay attention to Sunshine or Rosa. And I gotta say, that worked out really, really well, because Bruno, you can only hit one guy.
Yep.
And if that guy takes a long time to be taken down, more often than not, the Bruno is gonna go down first. So I feel like not going for the Thunderbelt, going straight on to pure defense, making it difficult for the Bruno to kill him, that's a good choice.
Yeah, and even in his emblems, right, taking the Brave Smite, very, very good idea. And despite all of that, look at his damage, 41 in comparison to Maniac at 29, and honestly keeping pretty close to a full damage Suyo as well.
Yeah, looking at Sunshine and Rosa as well, doing close, identical damage here, both really showing up. And considering that Sunshine is a single target hero, though having that Lightning Truncheon makes you feel like he has a little bit more AoE than he really has, really is impressive on this Hive here, where Rosa can attack 4 or 5 people at the same time.
I think that as this game is going to progress, I need to pay attention to both Apex 47 as well as Lovely. It feels like Lovely is trying to mirror Apex 47's movements so far, and I gotta give to him, his Cho was real nice, opening up the maps and almost guaranteeing Maniac to throw out that final slash.
Now we gotta look at the MVP of this game. The first game of this best of 5 is going over to Sunshine, 70,000 total damage, 8-2 and 4. His own flavor, having that Lightning Truncheon, just to make sure that there's some splash damage whenever he does dash in and deals those enhanced basic attacks.
I mean, he's doing a really great job here, and he's really doubling down on that initial burst. But what is the adaptation specifically for Incilio as they move on to game number 2?
I kind of feel like now you got to really focus on, if you're going to get some good poke onto the mid, some kind of finisher. You got to take them down instantly. So something a little bit more proactive coming in from Lovely. But now we're going to look at the highlights here first and look at how Sunshine, even though he was the one that got ganked, he was the one that got the kills. And I feel like that really threw an anchor inside of Incilio's plan. It's like, we want to take down Sunshine, but how? We came to him and we gave him kills. That's not the plan, guys.
Yeah, it's never the plan. You never want that to happen, especially on a gold laner who scales like Harith. It's really tough, because I feel like even Justinian trying to look for these angles onto Sunshine, majority of the time the problem is that, hey, he's got Purify. If we break that Purify, next thing you know, Apex 47 shows up with a third hit of G Kundo into a Flicker Drea the Dragon combo.
Honestly, if we rewind back, look at the game. We talked about the difference in gold. Where was it? It was the gold and the EXP. If you look at the mid trio, it's more or less even. So if I was in Incilio, I would attack that mid trio. Lovely so far. My personal, how do I say this? The way that I look at him, he's good at helping out his team, but he's not good at engaging. He's not the kind of player to use a Tigreal. He's the kind of player that uses a Matilda, someone that ensures that his team survives, not really a player that engages the fight.
That's kind of interesting, because again, Enchanter style supports other than Matilda don't really feel that nice. Like Rafaela feels even worse now, only because, yes, I mean, obviously the movement speed is great, but her base HP so low. You die so easily. 2 hits are gone.
Yeah, like, they got to figure something out, because so far I'm looking at his hard engaging tanks hasn't been performing that well as compared to everything else. Maniac so far has been performing with those front lines, but this time it looks like he wants to be the setter, where perhaps in Celio, they're trying out a style that they're not used to by having the roam as well as the EXP to start a fight when they're really good at kiting away from fights.
Yeah,
it's like the difference in their personality and the hero that they're using. But by the way, guys, for you guys at home, discover the beating heart of Kadia City, the gaming and esports district, the world's first real-life gaming hub and a beacon of gaming culture. Thank you very much, Kadia Gaming, for supporting M6 and the Wildcard. And unleash unmatched gaming performance with ROG Phone 9 Pro, a mobile masterpiece that seamlessly blends high-power gaming with a sleek, modern aesthetic.
So good. Every single time that we see it, we expect to see the best out of our players. But to fuel our players, obviously, we're going to have to shout out Hello Panda. Fuel your game with Hello Panda. Crunchy biscuit filled with creamy chocolate, the ultimate snack to keep you energized. Level up your day and visit Hello Panda's website for more. By the way, they've also got multiple flavors.
Oh yeah, so far, every one of them hits hard. Going back into the game, I kind of feel like figure out how you play and draft around it, where it's kind of like they're going for the meta, but the meta doesn't really suit them.
I don't know, it's tough because we've seen a lot of teams come into not only the wildcards, but even previous M series where if the meta strays away from them, they will try to play around a couple of players who suit the meta and then build their comp around it.
Either way, is I feel like get some kind of comfort for Lovely. That's it. Because so far, Lovely, looking at the KDA, looks very good, and he played a Gato catch-up very, very well. But again, it's not putting pressure. I feel like that's the only issue here where Lovely couldn't apply pressure. Maybe give Maniac a different kind of hero that allows him to give pressure because the Art is a very good setter, a very good counter engager. But so far, as we saw, it was not enough. It was not enough.
Well, I think if we're looking towards counter-engage, as much as I love the Valentina, especially into the Loyi, when you start losing structural damage, and more importantly, if you are looking to play for counter-engages, I think that they could look for at least a burst-style mid laner. Artillery, Farsa is already coming to mind. Maybe even like Pio, just the Lilia might have been enough.
Yeah, honestly, even a Lilia would be pretty good, especially when you're going up against a mid laner that doesn't have a lot of movements like the Louis. She doesn't have a dash. She doesn't even have a movement speed up. She has a teleport, but while she's channeling that diverge, you can just keep on attacking. And now, fun fact, as of last game, Lovely has played 8 unique heroes in 9 games, which I kind of feel like hits on my point. Lovely doesn't have that one special hero that wins games. He keeps on changing, which is good, which is very interesting for the audience, but take it for M6, man. Take it for M6. You got to bring out your best here.
You got to bring out something, your A game. If not, you got to go above and beyond. And not to mention that the meta is demanding the mid trio to be proactive, right? That's the way that we've seen the game being played thus far. Unless you get like power picks like Hilda, for an example, in the EXP lane, then it's a different story.
But let's be real. Very unlikely the Hilda to go through. And looking at the first bench just now, I feel like Ulnar is showing proper respect for the Matilda. And like you said, Gideon, playing in rank, you can use your Rafaela. You can use your Estes. The flooring also is great. Yeah. Competitive play usually gets punished by people saying, your roamer doesn't have a lot of HP. We can do enough damage by just our mid or just by our jungler to take you down. And the problem with healer composition is, without the healer, the comp breaks apart.
And I think even so, the early game is kind of interesting because even if you're playing a healer comp, what do they do in the early game? You babysit a lane, you choose one guy and be like, yeah, I'm going to play around you and try to force enough pressure to that side of the map to make your opponents respond to it. I think that right now, a lot of heroes can clear waves very effectively, even underneath their turret, that it makes it a little less valuable.
Now we're jumping straight into draft of game number 2. This game, if Ulhanar wins, it will put a lot of pressure on Encilio. And again, this is their first rodeo here. We don't know how well they handle the pressure. Encilio is going to be first pick again. Ulhanar will be the second, banning out the Fanny, the Eve, as well as the Luyi. Ulhanar banning out the Hilda, the Jushin, and I'm guessing the Matilda here.
Yeah, that probably would make sense. I don't see Ulfandar really changing up the drafts too much. If it works, don't fix it, right? At this point, here we go. It's going to be the Matilda as expected. First pick coming in from Encilio. This needs to be a big one. And I'm thinking like maybe Cho might be the way to go.
but for who? I'm just not sure if the Cho is Lovely's kind of hero. If Maniac can use it, then yeah, take it away. Don't let Apex 47 or Alien to pick up that hero. Because so far, the Cho has been a mainstay for all the teams here. The Khalid was not shown in game number 1. I wonder if that's going to be a consideration here. They first pick the Valentina, which is very interesting because if you have a Valentina, your roamer has to be incredibly aggressive. And now the Hylos gets picked up. It's going to be much more difficult for the Valentina to move forward and actually deal poke damage.
Right, at least they have access to Glorious Pathway, and then they follow it up with the Cho as well, just to keep things flexible here. Most likely going to go into the EXP once more, but that does give the opportunity for Insil to actually pick up a Phobius of their own. At least
Harith.
then, oh yeah, or even the Harith. Actually, you know what? Take both.
Yeah. Harith, Phobius, and then because the jungler is open, right? You can take anything here. There's only 2 bans. You don't have to worry about it too much unless they really want to play around their jungler.
Yeah.
Like the Nolan, you just want to speed things up a little bit. Because at this point, you have to consider that Ulhanar is probably thinking the next pick is going to be a Bruno or a Harith. And then if Insilo doesn't pick it up, probably going to get banned.
Maybe. I do think that there has been a lot... They're straying away from Alpha a lot, and I think the playstyle of Alpha is actually very effective for Incilio against Ulfanar, because it's very much, oh, I have early damage, so therefore I can start stealing your outside camps and then force movements across the map because of it.
Now Ulhanar, they have a choice if they do want to play the Bruno, and they pick up the Bruno. Because one OG way to deal with the Harith is having something like a Melissa. But again, the Melissa, we're still unsure where she stands in the meta right now. So looking at the draft here, Ulhanar already has a very tanky composition here, having the high loss, having the Cho as well. And Celio showing up a lot of magic damage, even from Gatakacha doing a lot of magic damage. So they need a very carry-heavy jungler inside, well, in the jungle, of course. I'm still thinking of Alpha here going up against the high loss. And Ulhanar, they're showing respect against Maniac. Maniac is good with the front line. Take away the front lines.
It's a really good idea here, because at the end of the day, Thamos is just a Swiss Army knife of the EXP lane. He doesn't have any bad matchups. He generally is supposed to dominate the early game no matter what matchup he's put into, and that pressure alone is going to force you to say, hey, I have to outscale you first before I can do anything.
Right now, 3 mid laners have been banned out by Coach G.
Wow.
The Eve, the Luyi, as well as the Farsa. Only one more option. Aurora, Vexana, those are the options that he can put through, and I kind of feel like both Aurora and Vexana will be able to do well against the lineup of Incilio. But hey, Rosa can go 180 degrees and then pick up, I don't know, something like a gourd.
Tarizla.
Tarizla, man.
I'll never forget that. Never forget that. Tigreal going to be the follow-up ban as the final ban for the side of Ulfindar. We look back at Incilio. Oh, fast ban here, actually. Straight for the Hayabusa. Does that mean he's going to play lane? TNZ Ling?
Oh, that is going to be very, very interesting here. Looking at the draft, I don't know, man. Ling going up against Bruno is going to be quite tough unless you can shut down the Bruno early. Because once the Bruno already has 2 items, the Hospital as well as the Berserker Fury, he can manage himself. Yeah, he can turn things around.
I'm thinking deep. Maybe an Amon, something a little crazy. I mean, if they want a distribution of damage.
Don't go crazy. Alpha. Don't go crazy, right?
All right.
Alpha can deal against the high loss.
I just gotta breathe.
Don't go crazy. Like, you still can engage. But so far away, we haven't seen a lot of Alpha. Wow. Okay. When I say like, he doesn't care. He can pick up whatever. Kagura was not in my list.
No,
it's not in my bingo book.
It really isn't, but I think this is one of the few... I'll get into it later. First, let's go to the fun fact, because Maniac was originally the gold laner of the squad in MCC Season 3 until they recruited Don't from PSG.
Yeah, we lightly touched upon it earlier, but looks like the Alpha is not going to be the pickup here. They pick up the Suyo. I'm still a little bit torn about this Kagura. I love the Kagura. Arlie picked up, so essentially Incilio has the same lineup here, except instead of a Bruno, they have a Harith. So they they believe in their comp, Gideon.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it's just the execution.
I think so. I do think that the Kagura into the Valentina matchup is kind of nice, though, because Kagura bullies the Valentina out of the lane a majority of the time.
Longer range, yeah.
And let's not forget, the supports didn't really get too involved in the mid lane as often. They're very much roaming across the map, so it's left to be that 1v1 in short periods of time, 10-second bursts.
You know what? Here in the Wildcard, the decider match, we get to see a unique peek up here of the Kagura. This is very exciting because you will ask, is this strictly because of the Valentina? Or is this a secret tech that they know that can counteract maybe against a Heart, maybe against a Gato? Like, what is the hidden interaction here?
I feel like as long as Harith is aware... Oh, Joy too? All right, let's spice things up here for the side of Ulfindar. Two extremely unique picks here. We haven't seen TNC just touch that Joy just yet, but again, with the Kagura, I think this could be interesting, right? Because they can technically swap places. You can go for the backline very, very easily.
We were talking about how this meta is all about burst. Joy is very bursty.
Oh, yeah.
Bruno is very bursty.
So good.
Dude, even the Kagura is very bursty.
I expect Genius Wands to be built here.
Oh yeah, like right now, Ulfindar, they have a lot of options. They can go to the back line with the jungler as well as the mid. But if the front line is causing problems, you got the Bruno, man. Something about football, it hurts.
It hurts. Let's start making our way into the land of Dawn for game number 2. For those just tuning in, the current score is 1-0 in favor of Ulfindar. We are hoping to see maybe a 2-0, if not an equalization from Incilio.
Yep, this Kagura matchup is definitely going to be one to watch. It could make or break the team, right? Because so far, looking at Incilio, they kept their draft. They know that this draft can be executed well. Maybe in game number 1, they were just unlucky. Game number 2 will probably be the decider whether this draft works for them or not.
Yeah, and let's not forget, at least for Kagura, there is some inbuilt purifies, right? So even if it does get caught by Lovely, there's a very easy way for Rosa to get out of these fights because it feels like Rosa's getting hard targeted between the first 1 minute to 6 minutes in the game.
If you guys log into the game, you guys will see a lot of active tasks are online right now. Make sure you guys get to level 75 in the M6 pass to make sure you get all of the goodies. But now Alien is taking a lot of damage.
Oh boy, Alien still gets his G no back up just in time after proxying that wave. He can go for an early recall if he wants to, unless he's got his regenerate, which I don't think he has. But again, Rosa just being kept in check here by both Lovely and as well as Reaper.
Again, I gotta say, Ulfindar, their idea is slowing them down because look at how Alien is proxying the wave, is slowing down Maniac to make sure that he doesn't get out of his lane quickly, and Rosa just poking them out, just having vision on Lovely as well as Reaper, make sure that they don't get any kind of rotations in. Essentially, letting Sunshine and Dawn to have an active 1v1.
Yeah, but even so, right? Even though they want to box in Rosa, Apex 47 is noticing that there's not a lot of motions across the map despite it, right? They're clearing the waves first, but they're not seeing any motions to the bottom side or the top side of the map.
Yeah. Right now, I don't know. It looks like for both teams, they do want to take it slow because neither teams have a way to engage the fight so far. Everyone is at level 3, no one's at level 4 just yet, well, except for the junglers. But again, it's more about the damage there. Justinian can engage. But the question is, who can he really engage on when you see a high loss as well as a choke?
Yeah, and it looks like Incilio, we're going to start this turtle up real quick. Ulfindar looking to try and hit level 4 in time, but quickly turns it around. Maniac is able to secure that first initial turtle as the electrifying beats comes out. TNT is trying to get on out of there, but the revitalize coming in clutch from Incilio to ensure minimal damage has been taken.
Good try from Ulfindar, unable to really take that. Incilio was able to secure it. Maniac with the final slash, able to have that last hit over to the turtle. A small lead for Incilio. Ulfindar so far, they tried to get a return kill, unable to do so. And now it's back to the farming game. Apex 47 is not level 4 just yet, but he's gonna make sure that so far TNZ has a good time.
I think I get it. They're trying to box in Rosa, and whenever they box in Rosa, they've noticed that Apex 47 is just hugging one side of the map or the other. So this is giving them information on where TNZ is going to be. As Apex 47 takes the damage, the electrifying beat does not connect. Not enough movement speed to catch up just yet as Rosa chunks out Reaper. But despite all that, Lovely back in that lane, trying to keep him in check.
Yeah, unfortunately, the yin-yang overturn doesn't really do a lot of damage earlier in the game unless you get that Genius 1 online. And Maniac is just like, you know what? If you guys want to move around, move around. I'm sticking to my lane. I'm going to get an advantage for myself because I feel like Maniac is going to be the one to actually prioritize the Thunder Belt to ensure that he can actually get much tankier in the game.
He needs to be a threat, matter of fact, right? It feels really, really bad as you start falling behind that your only use is for a final slash. So having some kill threat would be nice in these scenarios. But again, you can just see the man-to-man defense coming in from Incilio's side. They want to always know where Ulfindar is going to move.
Looking at the itemization here, it looks like Rosa is actually probably going to go for the Glowing Wand, and TNZ is going for the Starlium Scythe. Alien is prepping for a kick here.
Gets hit by the taunt, the Maniac jumps straight on it. Easy kill onto Alien's side. Final slash going to be pulling Apex 47, who's forced to use the Glorious Pathway. He still has his Revitalize if necessary, but is creating enough space so that TNZ can secure his own buffs.
With this draft, we can see that Ulhinar is not moving as fast as game number 1 because, again, they don't have a lot of enablers here. They have a lot of frontline. If the kick happened from Alien, if he got the way of the Dragon, perhaps they could do something about it because the damage from TNZ should be good now. But the damage from Rosa, it's more about control than damage at this point.
Let's see whether or not... Oh, final slash almost connecting, but not close enough. Despite all of that, the EXP side of the map has been left. They want to take early positionings here on that top side, expecting the dive. Lovely. Still slowing down Apex 47 as they control the top side here. Ulfindar, what is their response?
Don't already having the Starlium Scythe, so it's going to hit a little bit harder now. Looking at the gold lead here, 1.7k gold lead for Incilio. Definitely having the better early game, but I gotta say, Gideon, it doesn't look like they're grabbing a lot of advantage. They're getting kills, they're getting neutral objectives, but if you're looking at the map as a whole, they don't have a lot of priority.
Oh, well, in terms of priority, don't push it up pretty far. Loses 50% of his health, but is able to, at least regenerate himself back up to a healthy amount. But you can tell, I think that Incilio, they're not pressing the advantage because they're waiting for Don't to scale. I think once he hits 3 items, that's when they start to pop.
Look at the rotation here. Both teams are using the same rotation, where 5 minutes in, the EXP laner will start moving with the team, and you leave your jungler to finish the jungle camps as well as the EXP camps, trying to accelerate both Justinian as well as TNZ. Both teams are using the same rotation here.
Yeah, understandably so as well. Maniac trying to just steal away camps just to make sure that they can try and slow Ulfindar over. They're maintaining their 1.5k lead for now, but we're waiting for it in the next 30 seconds for when the neutral objective actually spawns is when we should expect a team fight.
Yeah, Alien so far, I kind of feel like he really wants to get a good way to drag it here, but Lovely as well as Maniac is not letting that happen. Every single time he wants to go in, either Vengeance stops him or the Gatukacha Ton is going to stop him. So I feel like Apex 47 has to open up the map a little bit for him to find his angle.
Well, actually, they don't have to use just Alien and Apex 47. Now Rosa can comfortably throw the umbrella into these bushes to open things up for them, right? So they don't necessarily have to rely on their supports and EXPs.
Right now, the Bruno is still clearing up, but looking at the bot lane, while all this chaos is happening, TNZ is able to get essentially a free turret. So, Ulhinar, they're not winning in terms of the fights, but they're getting advantage here.
Speaking of which, Alien is going to wave the Dragon Maniac out of there. Kind of interesting as now the Glorious Pressing comes to a flicker. Final slash isn't up, but TNT is able to secure the very first turtle here. The Revitalize comes out as Lovely is the next to fall. Don't still putting plenty of damage onto the floor, and they trade 2 for 2. Justinian just pushing out that mid lane. He wants that tier 1. TNT not going to allow it.
Talk about equal trade. EXP for EXP, Roamer for Roamer. Overall, I would still say it's good for Ulhinar because, again, they got the turret, they got the turtle, and the kill went over to TNZ. The assist went over to TNZ. Right now looking like he wants the second item to be Blood Wings and just completed it right now.
That Blood Wings already done. When are we expecting to see, at least for this Kagura, to actually make that big play, right? That hold on. Final slash going to be coming through towards Alien side. Apex 47 is watching this, and Rosa, good ult, but doesn't do enough damage. He's able to hit 3 targets. This could be potentially dangerous in the later stages of the game.
Yeah, right now, this Kagura is more utility than damage. We know eventually the Kagura will be an amazing threat, but so far, especially with first item being that glowing wand, really is just about poking people out, reducing their healing, their shields, and as well just free poking damage. So again, Rosa is just slowing them down. Rosa is not the star of the show. The star of the show is going to be TNZ as well as Sunshine. Later on, after 3 items, maybe even 4 items, that's where Rosa starts to shine, and that's where Don't really has to be a little bit careful because he can dash around, but a good time Yin Yang Overturn can probably deal enough damage where not enough to kill, but close enough.
Hold on, Justinian might be in some trouble here. TNZ, if the walk-on out of there with the help of the extra movement speed from the electrifying beats. Let's make a couple of comparisons because right now, Rosa, not the same level as Reaper, but TNZ is actually 2 levels ahead of Justinian.
Almost 1,000 gold in fact as well. So, hold on, a kick by Alien, not gonna do anything with it. Looks like no one was close enough for that, but now the Lord is here, and he doesn't have the Wave Dragon for a good 40 seconds.
I mean, Incilio, they know that this cooldown is currently online for Alien. They could look to utilize that pressure, that lack of ult, that lack of resources, start pushing up and set. Ooh, it's trying to set for this Lord. I think they want a team fight as well. They don't really want to be the first ones on this Lord.
Looking at the top wave here, Alien does not have the Wave Dragon. Oh!
Engagement on towards Apex 47 final slash to almost guarantee it. The Revitalize ain't enough as the backline gets attacked. TNZ chasing Justinian. GOA gonna come on through, but TNZ with the help of the Temporal able to quickly take him out and chase him down.
TNZ is so fast and not enough crowd control here, or point and click crowd control, making it hard for him to actually catch. And now Sunshine, he's aiming for the turrets, unable to get top. It's okay, I'll take him in.
Oh my god, TNZ dealing so much damage here. Cutting through them like butter, but he's got to be careful of Don't, able to dash away just in time. And that's Ulfindar finding a 2.1k lead, and they should be able to get this Lord.
If Sunshine had the Malefic gun at that point, he probably would have had enough range to get the kill. And now TNZ, the Holy Crystal, you would assume he did enough damage. He was like, it doesn't feel like enough.
I need more. I need more. Look at that. He is getting his cooldowns off so fast. Level 15, super short cooldowns. I don't know. How is Incilio supposed to handle this, right? Because Lovely not only has to worry about, hey, maybe I need to cut off the backline. I need to make sure that Alien doesn't get that space. Mainly Apex 47 opening those bushes. But at the same time, do you hold that taunt just for TNZ?
I would say yes. I would say yes because you gotta split the job. Someone's got to be in front, someone's got to be behind, and I kind of feel like Lovely has to stay in the back lines and let Maniac handle the front lines. But at this point, I feel like neither can handle either.
Oh, I mean, it's not like there could have been a punish there towards Lovely's side. They've got plenty of damage here, but Don't just got the Holy Crystal. Now, the barriers are going to explode. Oh, wait, there actually wasn't a minion there. Unfortunate. Tier 2 gonna collapse.
Yeah, either way, right now, Ulfindar is still clearly in the lead. And
Oh my-
wow, I didn't thought that would happen. I didn't know that Rosa actually did a lot of damage.
Like a significant amount more damage as well. It's not like a 2,000 difference. This is a 7,000 difference.
Yeah, and Maniac is actually quite up there as well, Sunshine as well as TNZ. Though, to be fair, TNZ is immediately going to that back line and just brushed him down while Rosa is poking anyone. Front line, back line, really doesn't matter. If you're a minion, you're also going to get taken out.
I mean, to be fair, the past 4 minutes, he's just been farming like his jungle and the bottom side. The final slash comes on through super with Apex 47. Actually, trying to get into Justinian's side. They disengage, and they're hoping for the best here. Nobody goes down just yet. Here comes TNZ, but he's not going to dive deeper than that.
The problem with game number 1's higher than game number 2, we see that Don't doesn't deal enough damage just yet, even though he has the Holy Crystal. And this is a very, very concerning Gideon because the front line, the Apex 47 on this high loft, absorbing as much as he can, and Alien is open. Alien is free, Rosa is free, Sunshine is free. Game number 1, game number 2, the damage dealers of Ohanar is having free space. Look at Apex 47, absorbing 71,000 damage.
Oh, and speaking of which, he's finally
And then he
going
dies.
to go down. Caster's Curse at its finest as Rosa tries to chunk down Reaper, finds him with the help of TNC, going into that backline. Don't the next to fall! A double, looking for a triple. TNC shows how it's done as Rosa steals away that triple.
I mean, usually the decider match, you'd be a little bit kinder to your teammates. Like, oh, you got a chance for a Maniac, go for it. But it's like, nah, fam. Not even on the decider match will I let you have that Maniac.
Exactly, and you can definitely see that TNZ's like, all right, you want to steal that away? No worries, I'll take one more. As Justinian, oh my God, where did his health go? Tries to burst him down. TNZ's absorbing the waves, but unfortunately, it's not enough. The minions just not there.
Maybe discipline issue there. They should have cleared the minions as fast as they can, use everything to actually push their minions inside the base, and they might have been able to end it there. We'll see if Incilio is able to use this opportunity to really catch them off guard, but with a 7,000 goal lead, I don't know, Gideon. TNC and Rosa feels like they've hit their power spike, and they're going to be very difficult to take down. Apex 47 now having an Athena shield, much more difficult for anyone to burst them down. That's 4 people, by 4 people in Apex 47. I'm just letting you guys know.
Yeah, this is not exactly the best situation to be in right now when Apex 47 can walk up to you like this. Glorious pathway being deployed against Maniac side. Reaper on the bottom side putting his own, trying to disengage the rest of the team. Apex 47 has done his work as the backline is getting attacked. TNC, ooh, quickly with Winter Crown. Here comes GOA to cancel it off. Shut down coming in from Justinian.
Yep, TNC clearly made a mistake, understood his objective, get don't. But his electrifying beast is about to go off, and he continued to chase after Justinian, which, you know, in hindsight, it looked bad. In the moment, I can understand he had enough damage, and Justinian was looking very juicy, right? If he was able to get that free Lord, now he is taken down, and Incilio has a chance to actually get the Lord here.
A bit of an overheat coming in from Ulfindar's side, but Incilio needs to make sure they control this side of the map. Glorious pathway is out. Reaper might be in trouble. Rosa finding Justinian on the bottom side, and now he's left alone against Stone, who bursts him down in trade. This is getting a little dicey here.
Ulnar, they gotta slow down. They're making mistakes here. You gotta understand that kills aren't everything in this game, where certain kills put you at a very vulnerable situation. TNZ has done that. Rosa has done that. They're clearly in the position to have an end game angle. If they keep trading kills for kills when it's 40 minutes in the game, that could be the game changer.
Well, speaking of game changer, oh my goodness, the final slash, no flicker just yet. TNZ looking to try and blast them down. Glorious pathway has already been deployed, but Alien unfortunately caught out of position. No flicker to save his life. GOA is going to be coming down. TNZ looking to secure it. Don't! He missed us! We're Retribution! No way! Apex 47 looking to chase them down as Sunshine finds one back. This has just saved the game for Incilio as they bought themselves an extra 3 minutes.
I feel like I'm not the only one here, Gideon, but Ulhendar is clearly making mistakes.
They're getting a little too comfortable here. They
Yeah.
thought they had a huge lead going for them, and to be fair, they do.
They did.
They did.
From 7,000, now 3,000. 4,000 difference there.
That hurt. That one hurt. Oh, TNZ just retributed a little too early there. Just a little bit. Oh, so unfortunate. But now with this game dragging out, it allows Incilio to actually scale. Don't have some real damage now. Final Slash going to come through on towards Apex 47's side, but Sunshine just making sure, hey, you better not walk up too close.
Oh,
And don't! He gets blasted! 1.7k damage! Alien goes for the way. The Dragon Reaper is able to purify out of that. Delay the fight, take down the Lords, clear the waves.
Yep, Sunshine so far has his head in the game. 4-0-6. Hasn't made a mistake so far. And now Don't overheat it as well. He saw an opportunity, he went for it, but again, you're from behind. You gotta take your chances. 19 seconds for him to recover. Should be enough for them to defend the base and maybe get something against Ulhanar.
Worldy's already thrown out. GOA comes through. Final Slash to push Apex 47 underneath the turret. No minions, nothing. He has to move forward as Glorious Pathways through TNZ tries to get the trade back. Unable to find it. Lovely. Still alive here. Ulfindar forced back once again, trading one for nothing.
Good defenses so far by Incilio, making sure that there's really no angle for them to go in. And you can see Ulhanar, this is one possibly two crucial mistakes. They're starting to feel a little bit desperate. They're forcing the fights where if you look at the angle, it doesn't look right. The minions weren't there, they're forcing it in. What they want to do is kill them before the minions arrive to get a very clear end. But again, execution-wise, maybe not everyone is on the same page.
I think the goals are correct. I think the main issue is that they don't consider the cost of which they throw themselves in. Yes, they find Don't, they take out Don't, but they end up giving themselves on over. Ideally, you want to always have a positive trade against your opponent, and I think that Ulfindar, unfortunately, is willing to throw everything at the wall to guarantee their goal.
Let me just say for Don't as well, he's taking a risk here, Gideon. He's going for full damage. The only defensive item he has is the Blood Wings.
Oh.
So, I don't know, not a Winter Crown, not an Immortality. So,
is this a dump the boots angle?
I feel like sooner or later it will be. Dump the boots, maybe get an Immortality, have enough gold for that Winter as well to possibly outplay something. So far, Rosa is opening the map very, very well. Looking at items here, having the Wishing Lantern as well as the Divine Glaive able to deal quite a lot of damage, but so far hasn't had a critical yin-yang overturn.
Oh, here comes Maniac. Does he have his flicker? Yes, he does. It's going to be the GOE that's missed, pushing TNZ away. But now, here comes the angle. They have so much space to run them down. Glorious pathway from behind this time. Rosa blast the backline. Alien secures the kill on Justinian. And now TNC with the electrifying base is going to find Reaper as they run them down one by one. Sunshine with the double in Rosa for another slain as they wipe the floor with Incilio.
And with this, Ohanar has clearly won game number 2, and now they're at match point. One more win away to secure their ticket to the main stage at M6.
Oh my goodness, did you see the face on Apex 47 at that last sequence? He's smiling, he's probably telling off the players, hey, we're overheating a little bit. Calm down, cool off, we can make this easy.
They made it in time. They were able to calm down at a very crucial point, and they caught the mistake from Incilio, where they really wanted TNZ, and TNZ was the bait. Glorious pathway coming in, cutting the exit. Justinian was the first to go. Everyone else followed suit.
Oh boy, that was an interesting game to watch at the very least, but we need to see a little bit more coming in from Incilio. They're really good at punishing the mistakes from their opponent, but so far, in terms of quote-unquote proactiveness, we haven't really seen it despite having full mid-lane control.
Right now, we gotta talk about the possibility of the decider match being a clear 3-0 here, because Ohanar, so far, even with mistakes, is not enough for Incilio to capitalize and get a win for themselves. So if Incilio wants to do it, they need to pull off an impressive reverse sweep, which I don't know if that's possible. That's very rare.
I mean, unless they got to get under the skin of Ulfendar right now. They need to tilt them somehow. I mean, that's pretty much the only way. We've seen Ulfendar overheat in some of these scenarios. You got to look a little bit passive and docile to make them overextend.
Yeah, either way is amazing game from Ulhanar, and we saw the same draft in game number 1 and game number 2 for Incilio. The final, possibly the final game, is going to be the decider. Will they try this draft again, or will they switch things up? Where we saw even Ulhanar, they were the ones that are willing to switch things up this time, bringing in the Joy as well as the Kagura. Kagura won them the game. I'm not so sure if it's the most impactful one, you know?
Yeah, I feel your sentiment here. Let's look at the post game just to double confirm. We could be wrong. I mean, the numbers don't lie here.
Yeah, looking at all the itemizations here, in case anyone is curious on the itemization for Rosa on this Kagura, looks like the old build of building the Genius one is not here. Goes for the glowing one, and I believe the second item is the Wishing Lantern, and then going for the Divine Glaive, and last but not least, the Holy Crystal. Not even opting for a Blood Wings, because in this entire game, he didn't feel threatened at all.
Untouched. Untouched. I think you can understand why, right? You double down on the damage, you get your fourth item being that Wishing Lantern, so now you have the raw stats to proc the Wishing Lantern every time you throw out the Umbrella.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at the damage dealt here, and yeah, honestly, pretty high by Rosa as well, but understanding that it's probably coming in from mostly poke damage. And now we gotta look at the emblem set here. This time, don't on that Harif. Looks strong, but again, not enough, especially with the high loss. The high loss is providing so much frontline, absorbing so much damage. And at that point, he looked so tanky, but he only had 2 items. He only had the Dominance Ice and the Athena Shield, and it was enough to tank 4 members of Incilio.
Actually, funny enough, prior to that, he only had components. He had Dom Ice, 2 components, and he was running underneath turrets. I think that the Revitalize plays a part on top of the Glorious Pathway, but at the same time, if you're wasting 5, 6 auto attacks onto one hero, it's just not worth the effort.
Yeah, right now in Incilio, they need some kind of playmaker here, because even Reaper, having highlight plays, so far hasn't been having a good game on this Valentina. And one of the reasons, I play a Valentina, and I had a lot of games where I'm chocolate, when I just can't get close enough, man. Fighting against a Farsa, the Eve I can manage a little bit, but everyone else, it feels like they hurt me to the point where I'm half HP and I haven't even touch any of my skills yet.
Exactly, right? And then out of desperation, you just press buttons. Honestly, I thought you would be more excited for the Kagura coming in from the side of Ulfindar into this matchup, because I think this is one of the few evolutions that we were expecting, and also one of the bigger weaknesses, as you mentioned, of the Valentina. Getting outranged is not exactly too much fun, but at least Rosa shows off the capabilities of the Kagura.
I mean, the only doubt I had was the damage, but looking at the damage numbers here, 75,000 still did a lot of damage. My only concern is because we don't see, like, I played the days when we were using the Kagura, you can get a Savage with one Yin Yang Overturn. Nowadays, it doesn't feel that strong, but apparently the way that Rosa plays it, still able to deal a very good damage, especially when you have a Joy in your wings. All you have to do is get them to half HP. The rest, electrifying beats can handle it.
There's also a very good combination with the Joy, right? If you're able to collect more than 2 people, 3 people with the Yin Yang pull, then at least the electrifying beats can effectively hit everybody all at once. But give it up for our MVP, Sunshine, the only person who was like, I'm not going to overheat this time.
I'm just like,
that's not me.
I'm here pressing the basic attack button, man.
Yeah, he's just a pocket full of it, man. 6-0-6, a perfect game on his end. And I mean, after what happened yesterday, it definitely feels like, you know, he wants to make sure if everybody else is allowed to overheat, I can still be the insurance policy at the end of the day. Opting for attack speed on top of having tenacity. He is legitimately worried of actually getting caught out, but at the same time, again, played a perfect game.
Yeah, right now I feel like everyone is worried where this might be a sweep. Gideon. And, oh, by the way, he used tenacity. In case we haven't pointed out. Have you pointed it out?
Yeah, don't worry, I pointed it out.
All right, yeah. Sorry, I was
I got you
my head was somewhere else. Right now, looking at the highlights here, the MVP highlights, Sunshine did well. Honestly, everyone did well. Everyone did their job. Apex 47, making sure that no damage penetrates to the back line. And Rosa is deceptive. I feel like it's about deception. You don't really see the umbrella coming in. You don't see a lot of the Yin Yang overturns actually happening. It's one of those situations where you don't know what happened. All you know is you're half HP. And, you know, deception is the game where Ulfindar, all of a sudden, able to have advantage all over the map. And Incilio is just late to respond. Look at this. Half HP there.
Man, the perfect right angle here as well with the Glorious Pathways. Again, this it's hard to say that it's an overextension coming in from Incilio, but they need to understand the shape of the map when they do walk in that particular direction, right? Because when you have Glorious Pathways, it is such a great tool. I mean, and we saw it so many times throughout the wildcard stages. People getting run down. Oh no, I'm missing my tier 2. I get run down all the way to my inhibitor, and I'm basically out of the game.
Now we're at match point here, folks. One more game. One more victory for Ulfindar, and they'll be moving on. They'll be the opponents of BTK in the Swiss format, in the Swiss round. And before we move on forward, I just got to give a big shout out to Kadia. Kadia's Gaming and Esports District unites gamers, communities, and fans across all genres and walk of life. So again, thank you very much, Kadia Gaming, for supporting the M6 as well as the wild card. And honestly, I don't have one, but I really want a Fairy watch. Luxury meets gaming with Fairy's first M6 Swiss watches. I still haven't got one. A special jewelry collection for Jushin and Mia, and brand new champion rings and medals. Follow at Fairy World on TikTok and our websites for updates. I don't have it on me, but I've seen the watch, I've worn the watch, and I've even gotten the ring so far.
You've gotten the ring? Oh man, I mean...
No, I went to SRG and be like, hey, can I have a look at that? Yeah.
That's a fair point.
Yeah,
That's
so I got
a
it
fair
from
point.
SRG.
I mean, honestly, their stuff looks really, really good. So please, go help us out. Go check them out. And don't forget to energize yourself. Fuel your games. Hello Panda is here to save the day, to fuel your games. And crunchy biscuit filled with creamy chocolate, the ultimate snack to keep you energized. Level up that day. Oh, finally, we're whipping it up. Which flavor is it? Is that the chocolate one? Oh, man.
It's good. I really love the chocolate one.
Don't worry, let me finish this up here. But you can level up your day and visit Hello Panda's website for more. They got multiple flavors, all of which are listed down below. Give me some of that.
Yeah.
You guys stole it the last time.
Yeah, no, dude, we were hungry last night.
You just gave us a box the last time.
Yeah. We decided, like, you know what? They probably had lunch. They'll be fine. They'll be fine.
I mean, I'm a little disappointed. Oh my goodness, that's pretty, man, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep that here for later. But for this upcoming game, I need to see Incilio play not to lose. I want to see them to play to win. The risk management is just not there. They're playing way too safe.
I like that you pointed out. It's like they're playing not to lose, where maybe this is just because they're new here in the championship stage, but you need a different kind of mentality because we got to remember what Coach Osprey said. It's not about the gameplay.
Yep.
It's about the mentality because when you're talking about gameplay, everyone on stage, they're at the top of the level. Mechanics, the macro, everyone has a good understanding of the game. If they do not have that, they won't be here. You got to consider that. For them to be here, they need to be the best of the best, even being in wildcards, right? So, yeah.
I mean, technically, well, if we're going technically,
I know, I know. Good enough, all right? Good enough.
I agree.
Good enough.
It needs to be good enough. And it's not like they don't have the mechanics. The question is, it's the risk management. It feels like, oh no, if we make a single mistake, we'll never recover from that. But in this current meta, the gold swings have been huge.
Yeah, after this, we might go backstage here because, again, this might be the last time to see the team. So for now, we're going to throw it over to Rose, where she'll be interviewing on one of the teams, and we'll see which one of them.
Welcome to the Courtside Report. My name is Rose. Hello, everybody. Nice to meet you all. I'll be your host for M6. And right now, I am over at the Player Village because I want to talk to somebody from Incilius. Okay, now Incilio, I have with me Harmony Soul, the manager. And guys, I just want to say I really, really love her hair. I've been talking about it just now. So how are you? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling fine because I need to be on the pace for my teammates and I need to cheer up more than because we need to win this series.
Okay, now Harmony. She told me I could just call her Harmony. Now, Harmony, we know that Incilio is a relatively new team in the scene. Now, being new, there are definitely struggles. What is probably, you would say, the biggest struggle Incilio has faced in attempt to get your M Series ticket?
I guess the key team for us for battle is, of course, this Turkey team because we have especially relationship with their coach, yeah, and so we're really exciting to meet them face to face on this same stage.
Okay, now, Harmony, you also mentioned that you've been in Malaysia for actually a few months preparing for this M Series wildcard. How is it like in Malaysia? How did you guys adapt to Malaysia? Is it fun? Do you like the food?
We came to Malaysia at, I guess, at 10th of November. Yeah, for a small boot camp and preparing for the M stage. And I guess it was first time when I came to the Asia, it's a little bit strange because when you see the central part of Malaysia, this Petronas towers, how it look like it's New York street, but it's on the Asia with this, especially nature. It's so cool and exciting.
Ooh, she said Malaysia, the city of Malaysia kind of looks like New York. Now, I think it does. It's really pretty here. I'm really glad you are enjoying Malaysia. Okay, now let's talk about Incilio more. We know that in a team, there are people that are introverted, outroverted in your team, okay? Who is like the happy pill? Who is the one who will always be like, guys, come on, cheer up, we got this, we got this? Who's the exciting and energetic one?
I guess it's a both of team. It depends of maybe some fights or if something happened on the map. But maybe I can cheer up in my team Don't. If you can see, he always on the ends of the games screaming something for everybody and make some handshakes. It's because of his emotionality is specific, I guess.
I feel like that's fine, no? Everybody has their own emotions, and Don't, you're saying, so Don't is the very vocal one, energetic.
Yeah.
We love that energy, right? We love that energy. Okay, Harmony, I have a question. It is a best of 5. However, you guys are technically in a best of 1 right now because your opponent just needs one more game to actually secure the final M6 ticket. If you could give any words of motivation to your boys up on stage, what would you like to tell them?
I guess they knew that they can make this series very cool, and so we will win of 3-2. I hope that my team have powerful on their meanings and they will get it on.
So Harmony is definitely expecting a reverse sweep, and it is never wrong to hope. Thank you so much, Harmony. I would just like to say it was nice meeting you, and of course, good luck to Incilio. And with that, let us throw it back to the casters to start the Game 3 in this Best of 5 series.
Thank you so much, Rose, and as well as Harmony Soul here. Very positive mindset considering that it's already the possibly the very final match.
Yeah. Because again, if they're able to make this into a reverse sweep, then this decider match will really set the tone for the Swiss stage. Because I feel like technically 15 teams that is already waiting for a Swiss stage is watching this matchup, especially VTK, considering that they will have to fight either Ulhanar or Incilio. Probably taking notes at this point and trying to see where the weaknesses lie. Because again, going to the Swiss stage is a best of one. Seeing who's going to be fighting 1-0, 0-1, and everything like that. We'll touch on that more when we get to the main stage. For this one, we hope that this is a good match.
Yep.
We hope that this time, Incilio, either with the same draft or changing things up a little bit, can apply a little bit more pressure. Maybe choose one player and enable him as much as you can.
I can agree with that. At least it's a simple play style to do. And honestly, most of the time when I expect to look in the drafting phase, I look for exploits in terms of the laning phase, right? We haven't seen too many of that happen. We've seen proxies, but we've never seen a 4-man rotation to completely cut off the supply line for the gold laner or even EXP.
Very interesting here. Ulhanar will be first pick. Oh, Incilio will be second pick. And remember, second pick so far has been the dominant one here. And Incilio, they chose to be the second pick.
That's fair. I mean, we're already seeing a bit of differences here and there. We're seeing a Nolan ban, we're seeing a Matilda ban. Nolan, again, I don't usually expect him to get banned within that very first phase. But we see Fanny and Jucius as expected. Alpha ban? I mean...
Dude, let me just say, it's all about mental now. Right? It's all about mental. Incilio, this is a test for them. They're 0-2. And now you don't have the Nolan. You don't have the Alpha. It's like you're forcing the Suyo, and now the Eve is in the hands of Rosa. This is do or die for Incilio. They're taking a risk here by being second pick.
I mean, Reaper can technically pick up the Valentino one more time. Third game in a row.
And pick up the Cho.
And then pick up the Cho. I mean, if they pick up the Cho right now, we're not having the two big I wouldn't even say counters, but better matchups against the Suyo are also gone. So I guess this is what Osprey is trying to do. They're trying to dangle some juicy Suyos in front of Justinian, and if he is more vocal about it to his coach, it might just be a trap.
Yeah, I feel like picking up the Suyo early here, yeah, like you said, it might be a trap. Maybe wait for third pick, because if I'm not mistaken, Justinian can also use the Joy.
Yep.
They pick up the high loss. And they pick up the Valentina, so the Cho is still open for Ulhanar. They don't have the high loss, so this time a Harvey and Bruno might do a bit better.
Actually, you're right about that. I was wondering whether this was going to be a mistake because again, that show has been such a nuisance, but the high loss as well has been doing good work. Even so, go back over to Ulhanar. Let's see how they're going to round out their composition. I can only imagine that they want the Cho, obviously, but from that point onwards, do they just take the Suyo at this point, right? Just complete the first half?
I'm even considering if they want to pick up the Bruno or Harif here. Even though the high loss is there, maybe ego challenge it a little bit. Again, we don't know what happened, what was going on in the minds of the players. If they have an answer for the high loss, then they can ignore the gold lane altogether for now. They pick up the Cho, and they pick up the Harif. They're sticking to their guns here. The Harif worked out, pick up the Harif.
Gotta give them the comfort picks, right? I mean, if Sunshine wants to pop off again, by all means, do it with the Harith. Incilio, now with their final pick in the very first phase of the game, how are they going to manage this? I mean, there's plenty of dashes on their side. Hayabusa is okay, I guess. I'm thinking more along the lines of Phobius.
But then you're really putting the high loss on Rowan, which again is not that big of a problem. I'm just thinking about the jungler share, because if not, it is gonna get banned out. Because Incilio can pick up the jungler and then instantly ban out the Joy. And whatever jungler is open next. And that leaves TNZ with very little options. Maybe having to pick up something like the Bane.
I think Bane's totally fine here. Honestly, in terms of like jungle picks for TNZ, I'm a little less concerned, but here comes the Joy for the side of Incilio. Rather interesting, despite having to play into the Cho as well. That's something to keep in mind.
Yep, and like I said, pick up a jungler and then ban out the remaining junglers, putting TNZ in a little bit of pressure, and maybe this is their answer towards the Eve. Because Rosa so far has been pressuring Incilio quite a lot. So maybe just a You have one target, man. If the Cho kicks you.
Yeah.
But kill Rosa first.
But I think they should be able to do it. They've got the glorious pathway on top of that droid. It's going to be a lot of movement speed. Ooh, banning out the Claude this time around coming up from it.
Which is good against the Eve, you know?
Yeah, interesting. I mean, they've thought about this. Like, Osprey is making sure that he is covering these angles.
I'm thinking of something crazy.
What? What's crazy?
A strong combination is Angela Joy. It's a strong combination, but it is a very big risk here. Very big risk. You have the Valentina, you can still put the Angela as Rome. Maybe it's like you can have the what you call it. The argument is too risky for a final game.
Yeah.
It can also be the argument you gotta gamble a bit.
You got risk management.
Risk management, yeah.
That's how we put it at the very beginning here. I think it's an interesting idea, and I think, oh man, it kind of depends, right? Because there's a potential for the early game to go really far south for the side of Incilio, because right now we don't see what the roamer option is for Ulfandar at this point in time, and the fact that they're also getting rid of the Edith, they understand that they don't want to get as disrupted. The most that they want to deal with is the glorious pathway, nothing more than that. Ooh, a Tigreal.
So a lot of setup here, a lot of setup. Looking at, you can put the row in the Rome position, maybe pick up a Phoveus. They did pick that up before. I'm trying to think, is there any more impressive EXP laners besides the Phoveus?
No, not really. Phoveus does well into the Khalid, does well into the Cho, but I mean, I think we've seen Apex 47 play the Cho already, and Alien does completely fine on the Phoveus unless he's designed to be sacrificed. I think he's even okay with that, right? As long as you slow down the rest of the team, at least the ULF can just deal with the Joy singular, one-handedly.
Alpha is open, but against the Tigreal, you just have to be a little bit careful. But the option is there. Alpha is open, can't handle the high loss, can't handle the Joy. And it looks like their pickup here is going to be the Ling and Terizla.
Ling Terizla. I like it. I like it a lot. As much as Incilio is trying to deny this big combination around Rosa's Eve, it looks like Incilio will have to set themselves up for success here. Don't has a lot on his shoulders, but at least he's on the Moskov. At least can knock away the Ling in case the engagement comes through.
That was a very quick Moskov, by the way. That was the game plan since the very first pick. They understood it's Moskov. Moskov is going to be the hero that could potentially win them the game. All right, now it looks like quite a risk as well Ulfandar is taking, where they believe this game could go to the late game, and with that, TNZ wants that Ling.
Yeah, this is going to be really, really interesting, right? The first time we saw TNZ on this Ling, absolutely dominating performance on his side, but it's so much setup and wombo combos from both teams.
And now potentially the final game in this best of 5. Ulfandar has match point. Incilio, they got to start to have a win to continue the series. Welcome to the Land of Dawn.
There was one time for a reverse sweep to happen. It must start with this very game. Here, down to the wire. It's going to be Ulfandar on the blue side, up against Incilio on the red side here in game number 3 of this best of 5. Oh boy. I mean, they're going to be starting... Wait, actually, hold up. They're starting on the opposite side.
Oh, opposite sides, yeah.
Do they want to... I feel like they want to unlock Alien out of that lane as soon as possible, right? Because I'm expecting the early game to not be too great for Alien. He's just going to be clearing waves, and the natural base damage of Maniac should be enough to deal with the trades.
Before that, I got to remind everyone the M6 pass is now available. Make sure you guys actually rank up and get to level 75 for free. Or if you get to level 75, you get a lot of amazing rewards. Claude's battle emote, the M6 Glory avatar border, Backstage battle emote and special skin, the Colossus M6 exclusive skin, Challenger Spark, as well as a Prime skin, Cosmic Blaze. Make sure you guys log in now, after the game actually, and then get to level 75.
I mean, just play the game more, like double the amount of games you have, and I'm pretty sure you're going to be completing that pass faster than you can even imagine. At this point in time, both sides not finding too many advantages in the lane. However, the mid lane is kind of chunkier. Apex 47, tries it, forces the Purify out of Reaper, and here comes TNT straight away. This should have been expected. This was a mid lane rotation that we expect to see from Assassins.
We touch that Valentina doesn't do well against range, Dobby. You can handle an Eve, sure, but Rosa's Eve, man, it has been on point and going up against a Cho. A Cho Eve lane is not a good lane for anyone to deal against.
Devastating.
It's really devastating. At this point, you would rather have a Sicilian.
Yeah, you actually kind of would. Well, let's see, because there's still ways to manipulate these waves, specifically from Lovely, who's currently level 3, so that Sacred Hammer could actually help to kind of reposition the waves later down the line.
Look at this. They're giving the EXP lane over to Apex 47 to ensure that he gets level 4, so this is a bit of a change of making sure that they have pure priority here.
Yeah, actually, this kind of reminds me of, you know, the last patch even. Here we go, as the Glorious Pathway comes out from Maniac's side, trying to zone out Rosa from this fight. Justinian on top of Apex 47, but honestly, without that first item, or even second item, not going to do much damage. Apex 47 still has a way of the dragon. Both sides positioning for each other. Alien thinking about jumping in, flickers it straight away with the Wombo combo. The RW web, it's beautiful. TNZ starts to chunk them out, but Apex 47 goes down in trade for the Justinian, neutral objective secured by Ulfendar.
As a roamer, I'll take that all day, man. I'll take that all day. Beautiful engage by Alien. Beautiful engage by Apex 47. Beautiful follow-up by Rosa as well as TNZ. That's one of those things where you practice so much, even when you fall asleep, you can still do it.
Yep, and TNZ 2 levels ahead of Justinian 3 minutes into the game. It's not looking good for him right now, especially if the invades do end up coming through. But for now, no pinch points. TNZ used it to disengage and now is looking through the bottom side of his map. And if you... Oh man, Apex, don't steal this away. All right, Justinian gets it and is able to move to the top side.
Dude, 2.3k ahead. Dazzling, you feel invincible at this point.
Oh, here he goes. Goes straight for Justinian, dies instantaneously after 2 dashes. I mean, great implosion, but I don't think Reaper has enough to deal with it just yet. The kill squad of the mid trio working out perfectly for Ulfendar.
Another unfortunate thing is that if you're playing from behind, the Valentina passive basically doesn't work at all. So you're essentially working with just your active skills. It's like you don't even have a passive in the game. So Encilio is being shut down by all angles.
Yep, and now here comes the way of the dragon, knowing that Lovely has nothing else. Quickly flickers out just before the penalty zone. Justinian is going to try, but doesn't have the base health. Electrifying Beat's going to come out and Maniac with the Glorious Pathway to try and disengage his buddies here. Penalty zone from a Reaper. Tries his best. Wait, SOD comes through. Don't in the middle of the fight, gets the kill and trades Apex 47.
Something that we've seen happen even in game number 2. Overheating by Ulfendar. You already got a good trade. Once you see it doesn't work out, back off. But I understand. You're almost 3,000 ahead. You want to make sure you don't let your opponents breathe. I can respect that. But again, final game in this match. Be a little bit careful.
Yeah, he's got to be a little careful here. I mean, I can understand that, hey, even if Apex 47 dies, that just means that Sunshine has more space to play. But so far, the knockup, oh, even the implosion, RWN's going to come out real quick here. Penalty zone onto 2. The backline's in trouble as Apex 47 walks up to zone them away as TNZ is doing good amounts of damage. Well done as Sunshine is able to find a kill of his own. 2 for nothing in favor. Oh my goodness, and the purple buff above going to be denied away. Actually, wait, hold on. Justinian had to use his retribution here as well. So I think at this point, they're just going to back off. 3 level difference.
Justinian just got his first item, which is great, but TNZ got his item quite a while ago and now working on his second. Justinian trying to get a kill onto Rosa, but Rosa able to flicker away. This is a very dangerous situation for Encilio. Now they got to really hope that Don't has been farming like crazy.
I think somebody is going to have to bite the bullet and give their farm over to Don't. I don't think they have much choice because bot tier 1 is already broken. I'm expecting the lane swap to happen sometime soon.
And I feel like the only one that can really sacrifice it is probably Maniac. But that's also a bit of a risk because if your front line is not tanky, then you're basically playing 4v5 and don't.
Oh wait, hold on, he actually meshes up the dash. He doesn't actually find enough energy to drop on over to the next one to secure this kill, but they get mid tier 1 and a good call. Ulfendar just telling TNZ, yo, calm down for a moment.
Yeah, but look at this, Gideon. 6 minutes in, almost 6,000 goal lead, 6 kills, and they got all outer turrets here. Now they're targeting the inner turrets.
This is one of the faster games we've seen from Ulfendar. I think they recognize that now, if Encilio is going to play a very passive, docile approach, we just need to be the aggressors. We need to make the first move.
Yeah, right now looking at the bot lane, Don't has been found out by TNZ.
Okay, Sacred Hammer comes through. Penalty zone hits 2 onto the back line. Don't forced to actually step away. Apex 47 gets the kick onto Lovely side. Implosion onto 4, but it's a little too late. And now RWM to find another mega kill coming up from Tenzi's side as the tier 2 collapses on the bottom lane.
Right now, looking at the goal difference, this is
Oh my God! Don't actually. He went for it. I mean, it limit testing, right?
All right,
limit
hold on.
testing.
1.1k difference, 1.1k difference, 1.7k difference, 1.5k difference, 1.8k difference. Everyone is minimum 1k ahead from their counterpart.
Oh, Rosa might be in some trouble here. Out of position finally. They do. Oh no! Lovely is the one who ends up getting the kill. Oh man!
That's not what you want to see at this point of the game.
That hurts a little bit. That hurts on the inside.
I mean, it's like there's an argument at someone just secured a kill, but
also true.
But that kill was secured. For sure, Rosa's gonna die.
Yeah, and Don't was nearby as well. So, I mean, now the Turtle going to be threatened here, but Incilio just don't have the items so far. Apex 47 gonna go with the way of the Dragon as the Glorious Master penalty zone almost connecting. Justinian able to get on out there, but the RWM as a response from Reaper's side. Alien has plenty of DR. Purify this as we don't get to see the murder of Reaper. Sin, Sunshine, and TNT find their own individual kills.
Winning at all bases of the game, man. Top, mid, bottom, river, jungle, whatever it is. It's all Ulfnar. They're making sure game number 3 is going to be memorable as they show up against all the other teams waiting in the Swiss stage that they're coming for them next.
Ulfnar finally living up to their namesake. Elite Berserker Warriors here. They're looking to raid. They're looking to take your land and your resources.
Dude, this game is just minutes away from being over. Justinian's trying to run away from Apex 47. The kick connects. TNT's there.
He doesn't have enough energy though, unless they do commit the ult. Justinian will get to run away for it now, but not, even so, he's just zoned out from his jungle. Justinian just cannot find any farm across the board.
7.6k ahead. Oh, sorry, 7.6k for the Ling, 5.4 for Justinian. Definitely a difference in the items here. It looks like BOD is up next for TNZ. I'm even at a point where will he have enough time to build that BOD?
I don't think. Well, actually, he should be able to finish it off with another 2 more kills if it's 8.8. And never mind, I'll do the math later. But for now, with the Lord pushing on their side, they're going to be able to get the barriers down. The shielding is gone, and if they can get an inhibitor, they can pretty much set up for a checkmate angle. Unless Alien wants to get a little bold and try for something, but I don't think it's worth it.
You say it's not worth it, Gideon. But when you say that, the more it feels like
it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. It's like you think it's a bad idea, and that's why I'm gonna do it anyway.
All right, this might just be it. RWM as well as the Glorious Pathway. Sunshine losing 40% of his HP. They walk away. Deterrence being shown by Incilio. Second opportunity here as the next wave does start to collapse on that top side. They're gonna try their best because Lovely can't really walk out. Penalty zone onto 2 so far, and they jump brought through. Good. Tenzi and Sunshine take out Maniac, and now the inhibitor falls. This is not looking great as the checkmate angle boxes have been ticked.
If they can get bottom as well, any Lord looks good for Ulfnar. 10,000 goal lead, 11 kills. It's 10 minutes in the game, and they want mid. They want to continue the pressure. They know Incilio can't fight back.
Yeah, they don't have it. Oh, Reaper losing 50% of his HP. Don't basically one attack is pretty much 20%. Implosion actually coming through. Sunshine ends up making a mistake and dies. And now with at least the Blade of Tempest, he's trying to make a play for himself. Apex 47 should be okay. He still has that flicker. SOD does not connect. That could have been a turnaround for Incilio.
I mean, this is what Ulfnar does. They put on pressure even with the detriment on them. But 9,000 gold, they can still hold this out very well. Incilio needs to do way more than that to actually take down Ulfnar at this point.
Okay, at least the Trinity has been built, right? He's got 3 items. It's possible for him to honestly turn this game around because I'm not seeing a lot of armor being built. It's mainly magic resistance coming out from the side of Apex 47 and just pure damage.
Maniac is there to protect Dome.
Well,
no, that's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's like I just wanted to let you guys know I have my ult.
It's like showing off that you're armed and well equipped without having to, really actually whip it out on somebody on the streets.
Yeah, that's flexing.
That's flexing. I mean, it's 34 seconds until it comes back up here. The Lord is available, and I think that if you're in Ulfnar's position, you don't have to rush it.
Yeah, of course. Which means they will rush it.
Yes, obviously.
Obviously.
Yeah, clearly. But Timothy Blades is also coming in from TNZ's side. They don't want to end up losing structures on the opposite side of the map. And I think might as well, you're 11 minutes into the game, might as well wait for the Luminous Lord.
Yep. Main Xyz, Apex 47, same as Reaper. So far, Dawn is being very brave here. Very brave.
I mean, if Apex can cancel this out, it'll be kind of funny. At the same time, no Finch Poise coming in from TNZ.
Everyone is far away from Dawn. I'm just letting y'all know. I mean, to be fair, even TNZ is far away. So even if Apex gets a kick here, it won't result in much. Oh, never mind. TNZ is on the way. He's on the way.
It's about to happen again. Get ready, the Dragon already coming through. Ooh, even with the SOD, but Blaze Tempest's gonna dodge. You ain't dashing out of this one, sucker. As he jumps on through the Finch Poise to close the distance against Justinian. Still has one more dash. Good save. Nicely played by Justinian to get out of there.
Oh yeah, but that's kind of a sad thing where the only thing you can do is get out of there. You can't get a return kill.
I mean, if he dies, then he ends up losing he's going to lose the Lord anyways. He needs to stay alive just to be that threat, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, he does have the Holy Crystal, so he can actually deal damage. It's just that he doesn't have an angle. He doesn't have an opportunity where this is like the same thing we talk about in game number 2 of Ulfanar. Like, you can get a kill for sure, but you yourself will die. So we can definitely see Justinian not making that mistake, not taking the bait. Because the moment he's like, you know what, I'm just going to get a kill and see what happens, that can be bad news for the rest of the members of Incilio.
Yeah, 34k total amount of gold for Incilio. It just means that the cores have the correct items. Everybody else is going to be a little bit weaker here. Now, the big issue is that this Lord is kind of strong. As it's going to push on through, I'm expecting inhibitors to fall. But at the same time, we've seen Alien time and time again just looking for these engagements to force battle spells.
Yeah, looking at the minion wave, they're not perfectly synced, but synced well enough. Looks like the bottom and top are going to crash first. The mid is going to come a little bit late. But I feel like this is an end angle.
Here we go. Apex 47 using the conceal early on. TNC's going to hide on that wall for now. Hops off of it, waiting for a position, waiting for an angle. Okay, the knockback is down. Apex 47 finds an angle to go for the kick on towards the interior of all targets. They find Sunshine, takes out Lovely, no problem. RWM end response. Tenzi takes out Reaper, and now they're looking for the end. Tenzi too strong. Justinian trying his best to clear the waves, and the heroes don't try. It's too late. He takes out Sunshine, but Tenzi shuts him down. That's going to be Ulfanar taking the game 3-0 to qualify for the Swiss stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, this will be the opponents of Bloodthirsty Kings in the Swiss round. Ulfanar just went to the decider match and got a 3-0 victory against Incilio. Congratulations, but the battle is not over. Heck, it's gonna get much tougher after this.
Oh man, it's good to see them getting that good motions in. Incilio unfortunately could not handle that raw momentum generated off of the first turtle. They just didn't run out of gas.
It's unfortunate, but again, these are the newcomers. Get in. Incilio, give them a few more months. Give them more prep time, give them more exposure, and they'll be able to handle it because Ulfanar, new name, but they've been here for years, Gideon. Like, as long as we've been casting, they've changed names quite a few times already.
They have, and honestly, happy to see them qualify once again. But this means there's going to be 2 Turkish representatives here at M6.
Yeah, this is going to be exciting for sure because usually we see Southeast Asia, you know, well, not Southeast Asia 6. Whatever.
Yeah.
Regions are weird. But Turkey has 2 now. And of course, big congratulations. Right now, you guys can see they're on stage. Well, now that you zoomed in to me, now they can't see. But if you zoom out, you can see that they're on stage. Which later on, Rose will be talking to them. And I hope they're ready for the Swiss stage. Because they have some days off, but I'm pretty sure they gotta use maybe 1 day for rest, the rest for training.
Of course. I mean, we heard that quote from Apex 47 alone, right? His quote saying that the team felt a little shaky after their past couple of tournaments, but building up that confidence and honestly winning the wildcards is that very first step, that stepping stone to send them further down the line during M6.
If anything, they got momentum now, get it?
They do.
They got a lot of momentum, and for now, you guys can definitely see on stage, they're there alongside with Rose. So let's go over to stage and let's hear what they gotta say.
clinching the last ever M6 ticket, winning the wild card after 4 crucial days. Congratulations to Ulfanar, very congratulations. An amazingly played game today. Now, let's go with Apex 47 first. Now, Apex 47, after all the challenges you guys had to overcome, what does this victory means for the team? Because I saw that whenever you guys win, you guys tend to get emotional, you guys seem to get very excited.
Yani çok mutluyuz. Burada 2-3 haftadır buradayız. Çok sıkı çalışıyoruz. Günde 10-12 saate yakın çalışma yapıyoruz. Çalışmamızın karşılığında almamız bizi çok mutlu ediyor. Çok mutluyuz.
We train about 10 to 12 hours a day. It's good that the plant that's growing to see, like it's good thing for us. Like we are happy.
Okay, you guys are happy. Now, obviously, it's a very good thing for you guys because this thing is huge. And guys, 10 to 12 hours a day is no joke. So I gotta give it to you guys. Okay, now Alien, you have actually just secured your 4th ever M series appearance. What keeps you motivated to just do better and always be at the peak of your performance?
Mutluyum. Yani bir alışkanlık oldu benim için. Beni seven, destekleyen herkese teşekkür ederim. Öncelikle anneme, babama ve kız arkadaşıma teşekkür ediyorum.
He thanks to everyone and firstly to his parents and his girlfriend.
Oh, that's cute. Shout out to his parents and to his girlfriend. Okay, I like that a lot. He's giving credit where credit is due, but honestly, Alien, you also deserve a congratulations. 4th time M series appearance, that is no joke. Now, Tianzi, I have a pretty nice question for you. Your first ever match in the Swiss stage will be going up against NA's Bloodthirsty Kings. How are you guys preparing for this matchup and how are things looking like for you guys?
Yani Wildcard'da biz performansımızın %50'sini daha göstermiş bulunmaktayız şu an. %100'ünü onlara saklıyoruz.
We performed our 50% on the wildcard. We are securing it to. Okay. We are waiting for our 100% for the Swiss stage.
Ooh, just 50%? So we're gonna be seeing a full force Ulfanar in the Swiss stages and I am excited. Do you have maybe a message to BTK? Maybe TNZ. Any message for BTK?
Good luck to them.
Good luck to them. Okay, now maybe we can talk to Rosa. Rosa, the last time Kagura was picked in the M series was M4, which essentially means 2 years ago. Now, in your opinion, is Kagura a viable pick in this patch or more of a highlight of your versatility in playing multiple heroes?
Yani bence meta uygun bir hero değil yani. Ben de çok iyi bir performans gösteremedim. Pek alışık olmadığım için disiplinlerde oynamadım. O yüzden oynanacağını düşünmüyorum. Sadece oraya olabilecek bir pikti. M4'ten bu yana değişen şeylere gelecek olursak da bizim açımızdan birlikte çok daha iyi bir performans gösterdiğimizi düşünüyorum. Birlikte hep birbirimize güvendik, çalıştık ve çok daha iyi bir takım oyunu gösterdiğimizi düşünüyorum. M6 sürecinde de bunun çok daha fazlasını göstererek ilk 4'e girmeyi planlıyoruz.
He said Kagura isn't that good in this meta, but against those opponents, I mean the heroes, Kagura could be pickable, so that's why we picked. If we come to what is difference after like before M4 and now, we are more stick together and we trust each other more than like enough. And like we will try to do our best. No, we will do our best, and we are willing to get top 4.
Wow, top 4. All right, they will not try to do their best because they want to do their best. Okay, now Rosa, just a final question, Rosa. We know that this time your journey to M6 was longer than usual because you guys had to go through the wild card. But if there's anyone you want to say thank you to, who do you want to say thank you to, Rosa? Okay, Rosa, come on.
Bu zamana kadar bizi destekleyen herkese tekrardan teşekkür ederim. Bizi izleyen ve sonsuz güvene sahip olan kişilere buradan tekrardan teşekkürlerimi iletiyorum.
He thanks to everyone who is supporting us and thanks to fans.
All right, once again, congratulations to Ulfanar for securing the last ever M6 ticket that they had to fight over a battle of 4 days. Congratulations, guys. I will see you guys in the Swiss stage. And now it's time to throw it back to the casters to break down what happened in the finals of the wild card. Casters, take it away.
So they want to try their best, because so far, Gideon, it's only 50%.
This isn't even my final form.
It's only half the body.
Oh, I mean,
The Kagura is here because 50% is enough.
50%. It's surprising to hear them say it's just 50% after how much of a roller coaster the wild cards have been for them. So it's interesting to say. It's interesting to see. But at the very least, that very final game showed them extremely polished. Like you could see, it was just clean porcelain.
Yeah, they're just waiting to go up against BTK to really show up more. Maybe against BTK they'll do 80.
Oh.
And then the other 20 for the other matches, because it's like battery, right? It's like battery. You don't want to die out too fast. You want to save some energy to make sure that it's enough to push you to the next round.
You got to maximize the charge, of course, naturally.
Exactly.
But with that being said, let's have a look at the post-game stats here for game number 3 of this best of 5. Because again, huge landslide coming in for the side of Ulfindar, ending today super strong, 19-7, 14 minutes and 9 seconds.
I mean, again, what do we really say here, right? Like, that was dominating from the get-go. First blood over to Reaper, really couldn't do much. Apex 47 flickered for it. Rosa dealt enough damage. They got the kill. Afterwards, Apex 47 got level 4 first, ahead of Lovely, and then after that, it's just all over. TNC got full build by 14 minutes.
It was ridiculous. I think this is what Incilio was worried about initially, right? But it only showed up at the very, very end when they were looking to try and get a little aggressive to start a snowball of some sort for Justinian.
Yeah, and again, like, this is the winning draft coming in from Ulfanar. Game number 3, I feel like actually showed more than 50%. They showed good rotation. They showed good, semi-good discipline. There are times, I want to say good discipline, but there are times where they're like, okay, we know we won, so we can have fun a little bit.
I feel like even when they were undisciplined, it was during times where, honestly, even if you die, there's not much punishment. It's not like there was a neutral objective to take or a buff to take, so I think they played within their boundaries.
They choose their
very
battles.
Well. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They choose their battles extremely well, and you could just see how pinpoint accurate they can be, because this is off of one single turtle fight.
Yeah, and again, maybe this is just not the meta for Incilio, but this just happens, right? Every tournament, there's a certain meta. Some metas really favor one team, 2 teams, maybe everyone, and then you have this niche, 1 or 2 people that really doesn't jive with the meta. You know, something like Onigindo before. They like the assassins during the tank jungle meta, but now it's assassin meta. You know, whatever.
I think a better example would be like TLPH ends up losing because of the changes to, addition of Flask of Erasers. That would be a really good example.
SRG with the Revitalize.
Ah, that too. Yeah. Oh, man. So many times that this meta can shake up people's opinions and more so their raw play styles. But it's good to see that Ulfanar, despite all the years that they've been playing, are still adaptable to what the meta is asking of them.
Yeah, Rosa doing 67,000 damage again. Not so surprising. Maybe this time, maybe in M6, Eve will break the curse where Eve can be used in the grand finals and not be the choke hero. It's been happening for years, Gideon, but this time Eve looks so strong. Like, There's no way. Come on.
There's no way. I feel like there's no way. I feel like Hylos would probably still make a showing in the grand finals.
Yeah. Honestly, this meta does seem a little bit more diverse. It's just that as long as you have enough damage. And Kagura was interesting, but even Rosa said, yeah, probably not good enough.
Yeah, probably not good enough, but let's give it up for our MVP of the game because TNZ just showing off. Because again, everybody talks about Ling. Oh man, Ling needs a couple of items, needs to farm before he's actually relevant. First turtle. First turtle is all they needed. 4 kills in that first fight, and TNZ just shot off to the moon.
Yeah, everyone's like, yeah, Ling needs item. TNZ's like, I need enemies. I need low targets. That's what I need.
He's a pump and dump in a crypto scheme here. He is just farming up so high and then just decides, you know what, let's be a little undisciplined. Let's drop the price a little bit.
I mean, like, to be fair, TNZ has a good supporting cast.
Oh, yeah.
Right? E with the real-world manipulation, locking people in, the penalty zone. Again, one of the best combinations of Ling is the penalty zone, actually trapping people in and doing a big chunk of damage, so that the Ling just have to use a few basic attacks, so that you'll eventually get the kill. So, very good supporting cast. I would say this is one of the best drafts for a Ling. Having the Cho, having the Eve, having the Terizla, oh, it's game over. At that point, gold laner, switch up whoever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, right? Because when we saw the draft initially, it was because Give was open, they were trying to set up a lot of jungle towards the jungle side of things on blue side, which we were expecting it to be a little, well, not exactly the strongest side to be on for this final game.
I mean, like, to be fair, Incilio picked their poison. They ban out the Hayabusa, they ban out the Nolan, I believe, can't really remember, but then it's like, okay, I still got the Ling. I still got the Ling. I mean, at that point, it's like, you tried to nerf me, bro, you unleashed my inner demon.
I mean, I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. I think that overall, Uvendar definitely cracked the code at the very end against Incilio, and I think that this was an extremely formidable showing. I think by far one of the cleaner games that we've seen Uvendar play throughout the tour. Well, actually, no, there were cleaner games after this. I take that back. But overall, it's great to see them back in the Swiss stage.
Yeah. Either ways, shout outs to Incilio. Hopefully they stick together and grow as a team, because Ulhanar didn't happen overnight. They've been here for years. I believe, like, just cracking top 8, no higher than that. And this time, even Rosa said we're aiming for at least top 4. This kind of performance, they might be able to do it.
I think it's definitely possible here. I think as long as they are going to play a consistent game, which is going to be the main question for those playing in Swiss stage. Because keep in mind, the format of the Swiss stage is going to be extremely brutal. So hopefully it works out for them and they can, you know, stay on their A game.
And for you guys, you play better for longer with ergonomic chairs designed to keep you at the top of your game. Hold on. I just want to lean back.
Yep, no worries,
The secret lab Titan Evo chair. Okay, you know what? I have to lock this first and then I can do it. Now you can play game and rest. I have a pillow here. I can have my Hello Panda as well. Make sure you guys grab the secret lab Titan Evo, designed to adapt to different postures across various activities. It's great for PC. It's great for mobile gaming. It's great for laying down.
Look at how far back he is.
I can go further. It's just that I don't want to overdo it because I have to be professional. But at the same time, if you get Secret Lab chair, you'll get more friends.
Yeah.
If you don't have enough friends, let me tell you. Get friends. Get Secret Lab.
Get some friends. Show them off with the Secret Lab and be like, you want to be closer friends? You want to be my best friend now? There's a very good argument for it. And don't forget that at least with the Secret Lab Titan Evo, it's for us bigger boys with wider shoulders. Because if you decide to get the Omega variant of it, it's for the small. It's for, you know, people who are smaller. But this perfect shoulder width. Huh?
You're calling me fat?
I'm talking you are big boned and you have wide shoulders, just like your boy.
Okay. When I got a Secret Lab chair, I actually got a cat.
You got
the same day, which is very funny if you really think about it.
How'd you get it? You know what? Never mind.
No, the cat just attracted to me. It's like, oh, Secret Lab chair. I know where I'm gonna sit. No, I gotta tell you, like my chair, my personal chair that I own myself. Yeah, it's
good.
Oh, wow.
There we go. Use the magnetic. Yeah, it's got a magnetic system, by the way. It's great. Again, you don't have to put the band over it and then it wears and tears out. It's magnets. It works well. Even goes up with the armrests as well. I mean, don't miss out. Don't miss out. And also, don't forget, 18th of November all the way to the 29th of December, you can participate in the M6 Lucky Gift. Join the draw for a chance to win the Claude Epic Skin Challengers Flare and the Beatrix's, well, M4 Epic Painted Skin, the Light Seeker. Don't miss this rare opportunity to get Beatrix's M4 exclusive and M4 Prime skins returning for a limited time. And if you guys don't know about the Claude skin, I mean, we've got a little funky show in here just for y'all if you want to make sure and max out that pass.
This Claude has an aura.
He does have aura.
I can't touch it. It's protected.
He is protected. I mean,
it's protected. You guys can see it.
It's great. It's great. It's great. So quickly, pick it up while you still have the opportunity. Oh man, honestly, I'm just thinking about that previous game. It was. I mean, the fact is, the rest of the world is catching up. It's making me think on a deeper level amongst the rest of the regions across the world. Maybe next year we might have more wildcard slots open, but who's to say?
Yeah, who's to say? And let me just say, I'm slightly disappointed because Rosa said Kagura actually isn't that good.
Oh.
Because I thought after that game, it would give me the chance to use Kagura in ranked games, but he's like, no, it's odd, but it's not like, you know, it's not like an E.
You're hoping
I'll stick to my Farsa.
You were hoping to ride off of that hype so it doesn't look like a trolling in game.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
And for the rest of you guys at home, for the 25th of November all the way to the 27th of November, Asian Esports Games, AEG, the largest MLBB women's tournament in Southeast Asia, will be held in Bangkok, gathering participation from 20 nations from various regions, spanning across different parts of Southeast Asia and the Middle East. It is the last MLBB Women Tournament of the year, presenting itself as the perfect platform for MLBB women players that are eager to prove themselves.
So keep your eyes out for the Southeast Asian Games here. I mean, I want to see how we perform overall.
I think it's the Asian Esports Games.
Asian Esports Games. Sorry, I mixed up the words straight away. I tried to mismatch it. It happens.
English is difficult.
English can be difficult.
I barely speak it.
But I do hope that our Southeast Asian representatives are going to do a good job there. Again, I mean, Indonesia is currently sitting on top of the world, and I think that, you know, it's been a back and forth.
Oh yeah, you know what? If the Freeing Tide just give them a secret lecture.
Oh yeah.
Need some energy. Give
Hello,
them
Panda.
Hello Panda. It's all good. If they want some encouragement, some bling. Very.
Of course. Wait, hold on. Now that we're wrapping up and the wildcards are already over, does that mean that the Orange is allowed to come back to this stage?
Hold on. Something that I need to tell you, and I think the audience is not taking advantage of.
What?
For day one and day two, where all 16 teams are playing, the tickets are available. I don't know if people will grab them, but I'm just saying, between you and me, we're having a close conversation here.
Yeah.
The Swiss stage, day one, day two, tickets are still available. Behind us, people will be watching behind us. If you guys buy the ticket, guess where you're gonna be?
And don't forget, the ticket is a day pass. So you can watch every single one of these games here at IOI. And honestly, even when you're done with it, you don't want to watch one particular game, there's plenty of stuff to do around here before you come back to check it out, because your day tickets will still be valid.
And something I gotta tell you guys at home, the toilets are great. Something to keep in mind.
I'm glad you brought that up.
The toilets are great. I can walk in the toilet without my shoe.
I don't know about, actually, you know what? Fair.
Maybe it's just me.
Maybe it's just you.
Maybe it's just me. I'm weird. You guys know I'm weird. It's all right.
It's all right.
I'll take it. But that's how clean they are.
I mean,
shout out to the toilet.
I'll try it out later just to see whether or not it's going to be possible. But overall, thank you so much to everybody here for making our days as good as it is. Oh boy, I can only imagine that things are only going to get better as we finally get our representative here. Ulf and Dar is going to the Swiss bracket and will have to face up BTK. Well done.
And now we got to look at the brackets here just to really show it up.
Oh my God.
We got a lot to cover here, but look at the left side of the screen. S2G going up against SRG. Ohanar going up against BTK. NIP Flash going up against CFU. Team Secret going up against Evo McCann. Twisted Minds against Vamos. Falcon against Aurora. KBG against RRQ. TLID against Fnatic on it. Beach. Oh, that's a lot of teams.
That's a lot of teams.
That's a lot of teams. That's 16 teams, in fact. 8 best of ones.
We'll be playing a best of one. I mean, I don't have to go through the format, of course. I'm not going to do the whole entire video over
SRG
again.
is game number 1, man.
Wait, actually they are.
And TLID against Fnatic on the Philippines, the very last. Oh, they open strong, they end strong.
They end very, very strong. I am curious about KBG versus RRQ, considering how the FYG was playing pretty well during the wild cards.
Oh, yeah.
Could you imagine?
Dude, KBG, man. People need to add stocks to them. Now, after the performance of the FYG, now KBG is starting to look more and more tasty.
How many guest coins?
Dude, dude, here's the thing. I'm gonna put all my guest coins on KBG.
Really?
If they lose, they lose.
Okay.
But if I win, I'm winning big. I'm winning big.
It's big guest coins
I'm
there.
putting more on KBG than SRG.
Ooh, oh, that's a big statement there.
For the guest
All
coins.
right.
For the guest coins.
For the guest coins, of course.
The overall champion thingy, the one
yeah.
with the flag. Yeah, that's SRG, of course.
Yeah, of course. Naturally. Oh, man, it's been an interesting day here at the Wildcards, and honestly, I am genuinely excited for what the Swiss stage is going to bring us today, because these are just tiny little morsels for you guys before we get to the main event.
Yeah, again, a best of one, and then the best of 3. First team to win 3 times moves forward. Any team that loses 3 times, that's it. But at least here in the Swiss format, a lot more opportunities get in.
I think so. I think not more opportunities, but don't forget that it's a random draw.
Yeah, random.
Each and every stage. So it could be a Malaysia versus Malaysia situation. It could be teams from the same regions playing against each other. But let's look at the schedule. In case you guys don't know when to come by to check out these games, starting off from 2 o'clock, S2G will be facing off against SRG. Uvendar will be facing off against BTK at 3 o'clock. Oh, so they're only giving an hour for each and every one of them.
I mean, it's the best of 1, right?
It is
it's the best of 1. And then the other 4 games, Twisted Minds, Vamos, Falcon, Aurora, KBG, RRQ, TLID, Fnatic on it, Philippines. So if you guys got the ticket, you're going to be entertained by the hour. By the hour.
By the hour. Every moment. Can't miss it. Honestly, really can't miss it here. Quickly screenshot it before you lose it while you still can. Is there any other games that you're excited for? I kind of want to see the NIP Flash.
Oh my God, we're thinking the same thing, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see how NIP Flash has grown since MSC because they surprised us for sure.
They did. But also, CFU has been, a little shaky, but generally looking great. With that being said, let us introduce to you our, of course, play of the day. Which one did they go for? Oh.
Of course, it's from the 3rd game.
Of course, it's from the 3rd game. It was too clean to not be the play of the game, man. Look at it.
Yeah, hold on. Still waiting. There you go. Apex Force go in, and then the initiation coming in from Alien got to, and then afterwards it's just a clean wipeout. Sunshine got targeted by Justinian, but at that point, whatever, man. Triple kill, I'm happy. After that, Don't actually gets taken down. Amazing play coming in from Ulhanar. The game-winning play. The M6 ticket play.
The M6 ticket play. And honestly, they used everything in their arsenal from ults to battle spells to... just to get Reaper, first of all. And he played it as perfectly as he possibly could.
Yeah, this is one of those situations where even though Coach Osprey say, experience is whatever, but this is one of those cases where experience actually does matter quite a lot because, again, larger hero pools, understanding which different rotations to use in the game, it really showed a big difference here.
It really does. It just means that their toolbox is much bigger and their view on the game is going to be slightly different compared to everybody else. But as we've seen, in Cilio, they're going to need a little bit of time to build up that confidence to play a more proactive game. But until then, congratulations to Ufendar. GG, well played.
Well, with that being said, you guys have seen the schedule. You guys have seen how the bracket looks like. The next time you guys see us, it is going to be at the Swiss stage. Thank you very much, Gideon. My name is LaFell. We had fun. That was an amazing day. But we'll see you guys at the Swiss stage.
Perfect.